voted for?
Yeah. Like, that's why. It's like, literally let that shit happen. Like, what on earth? Are you crazy?
I say his cult alone could have gotten it done.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. His cult is, like, insane.
Continue.
And if y'all don't know what we're talking about, like, I'll give you a secondary rundown when we get into the podcast itself. But, like, basically, he told a member of the community, like, I don't know if you guys saw this or not on Twitter, but, like, he was on his own stream on YouTube and was wiling out saying how Sarah Blast, like, oh, like, if you're gonna be, I guess, like, Sarah Blast is non-binary, right? Or is it?
I'm not sure.
Anyways, either way, Sarah Blast is whatever sexuality they choose and are, and LTG was like, I don't count it unless you actually take your dick and slit it and turn it into a pookie. About how, like, doesn't respect until you turn it into, like, a coochie, basically.
Yeah, and that I've never heard something so outlandish, disrespectful. Just it was disgusting. I never heard such just. Now I usually see it typed, but
Yep.
you know how people like to hide behind their accounts and things like that. There's no hiding. It's the fact that he's doing it in plain sight, and he knows he can get away with a part of it. I can't believe it.
The weirdest part about it too, right, is that, like, not only is it about him getting away with it, it's about the fact that he didn't just say it in one sentence. He was on
Multiple.
a rant for like 5 to 10 minutes.
And
A
a complete hatred that he had, and was running like on and on and on. Like, it was about at least a good, like you said, if I kickstart with that one, like,
We'll kickstart with this one, and then we're gonna go into the segue to the main topic today.
Sounds good.
Cause I got shit to say about that. I'm so heated.
I would love to hear. The floor is all yours, baby. You kick it off.
All right, so yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to FGC Woke. It's a podcast with Cuddle and Alicia X Life. Today is going to be episode 3 called Real versus Fake. So we're going to get mad heated. We're going to get mad topical. We going to get some hot takes going on, okay? Today's going to be a real touchy day. But you know what? We wouldn't be woke, and we'd be sleep if we weren't woke. So that's what this is about. Make sure to check out our Patreon. You see the names in the middle of the screen. You could actually pledge a few dollary dues, and become a part of our Patreon and help contribute to us doing this more often and making more content. If you contribute to our Patreon, you get a bonus episode once per month. If we hit a certain goal, we get 2 bonus episodes exclusive to Patreon, not even done on Twitch, not shown on YouTube, nowhere. It's purely just on Patreon. But we don't got that link in chat. Don't worry, I got you. I will link it if y'all want to sub to that, and your name will appear on our next podcast for our main free one. So we do one free one per month, which is FGC Woke, and then we do Wokecast, which is for the people who sub to our Patreon, exclusive for them. Talk about topics that you guys want to get into. We while it out. We talk about basically anything and everything, and it's gonna be a good time. So make sure to check that out, and make sure to play at Jeroonies, okay? But yeah. So besides that, as we said a little bit earlier, is that literally everything, Arctic. Everything. It's everything, okay? Today's topic is real versus fake. There's a few things that we wanted to tackle in today that were pretty important to us. One of the major parts being what it's like interacting with people who quote unquote support you within the scene. And that was like the major hitting point that we wanted to kind of accomplish today, was talking about that, because Cuddle has dealt with some weird ass stuff. I've dealt with some weird ass stuff. So we're gonna break it down for you guys, go into it a little bit. And then besides that, I'm a rip into LTG real quick. So that's where we at. But before we do that, before we continue on with anything else, we do have one sponsor of today, and that is actually Sharpie FGC. So we're gonna play her ad and talk about Sharpie for a little bit. Okay. Want to take it away, Cuds, and show that?
Yep. Okay.
If you touch me 2 times and I'm still alive, don't fucking talk to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
It's so good. It's so goddamn good. She killed that. She killed that. So y'all make sure to check out Sharpie. I don't know which link she wanted me to send y'all, but I'm gonna just link her Twitch because I think it's important that you guys support her. Listen, she's incredibly talented. Not only is she a caster, but she is an avid video gamer in general.
Yes. Really big on telling people and promoting. Play Skullgirls. Play Skull. You know, but I also love how honest she is as well. It's very straightforward. No BS kind of person, and she also has been teching to other players, and it's amazing. So check out her Twitter as well, which I believe is the Sharpie_FGC, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me go grab that link too. Let me just grab both links. Let's go snafu that one real quick too.
Yes.
So thank you, Sharpie, for it's the purple Sharpie. I got you. Bam, that's her Twitter as well. Please go mash the follow button on Sharpie, okay? She's out here making it so that we're even able to do this stuff. She sponsored today's podcast, so show her some love for her helping us being able to do this, okay? That's important. She's important, okay?
Thank you, Sharpie, so much for supporting FGC Woke.
Yep. All right, so let's dive into today. Are you guys ready for me to lose my absolute mind?
I don't think anybody's ready for that. Yo, you about to go? I'm ready, actually. You know what? I think I am.
Okay, so here we go. Basically, all right. So if y'all don't know the low tier god situation, I'm gonna give you the rundown real quick. For those of you who might have missed like our little preamble before the podcast started. Basically, low tier god, major influencer within the community. I wouldn't even call him a part of the community, to be honest, because he's a dick. But whatever, it goes way beyond that. So, he's been homophobic. He's been just totally belligerent, and definitely it's a stain upon our community. Facts, right? These are facts. This is not me just being out here slandering. This is facts, okay?
No, it's the truth.
Exactly, right? So it's like, oh, well, Alicia's talking shit. No. We're saying stuff that's already out there. This is stuff that may not get repercussions for his actions, but things blow over. And it's unacceptable, and it's time that something finally changes. And the thing is, right, is that on Twitch we're a lot more moderated, we're a lot more conservative than the people who are FGC content creators on YouTube. That's facts, right? Because FGC content creators on YouTube aren't held as accountable because their audience, and especially low tier god's audience, isn't there only for him to play a game. They don't really give a damn about his talent at a game. They're there to see him rage, right? They're there because they want the toxic environment. They think it's funny. These are the same fans of people who like Keemstar and Leafy on YouTube. That's the kind of viewership he has, right? Which, no offense, like, Keemstar and Leafy do their own thing, and I get that. Leafy's off of YouTube now. It's whatever. Like, people like to do their toxicity shit, right? I get it. As long as you don't hurt nobody, right? Hold on, I was like, I'll ban somebody from your chat real quick. The fuck is wrong with you? Sorry, so
is it okay?
So basically, like, with the whole thing going down is just like, now instead of just being like instead of just being a dickhead and just saying like terrible things over and over again, which, by the way, not the first time he's gone against the trans community, not the first time, not even the first time in like 2 years, okay? He targeted 2 trans women literally a year ago and no one's talking about it, okay?
Swept under the rug is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yep. Every time, right? No one never held accountable, allowed to go be on TV for Ely, right? Not even canceled from that. Like, and that's the thing, right? Is that like the one, like, okay, I'm gonna keep talking about this and then I'm gonna move into the part that actually makes me more pissed off than anything else. Okay? Because being mad at his actions is one thing, right? So, like, he wiles out, he acts crazy, all this stuff, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. And then he targets somebody for 5 to 10 minutes on his live stream on YouTube. 5 to 10 minutes, okay? That's a significant amount of time. Talking about one person for 1 minute's a long time, let alone 5 to 10 minutes. And not just saying anything, not being like, oh, they can't play the game. That's not what he talked about.
No, it was transphobic comments. It was hate speech. That's what it was.
It was literally hate speech. What he said on that goddamn stream was talking about how somebody who who I believe is I don't know if it's gender fluid or if it's non-binary. I don't want to assume what they go by, but they prefer to dress in both a feminine and a masculine from time to time, right? Whatever they prefer on the day, and that's fine. Usually associated with gender fluid, whatever. Leave it to them, right? The thing is, though, this motherfucker said, "I don't I don't believe that it's real. I don't agree with this unless you actually take your dick and you slice it, you split it, and turn it inwards and make it into a pussy." That's exactly what he said. He didn't just say it once. He said it
Multiple times.
repeatedly.
Yeah.
Right? So he kept going in on this and saying, "Wow, I don't count it. I don't count it. You're just doing this for clout. You're just doing this for clout," against somebody in our community. In our community. He came into our home. He came into our home and did this. Is that acceptable? Never.
Should never be. And yet, you know, for some reason, I still don't understand why. This man has gotten away with so much. From being racist, homophobic, transphobic, you know, sexist, everything you can think of. He's voiced all those kinds of all that type of hatred. I've seen so many clips. So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, people say, you know, do better, and you know, and so a lot of us, we feel like we have to bring awareness to it. So we have to show that this stuff exists, because if you don't say it exists, or if you don't show it exists, people tend to think it doesn't exist for some odd reason. And even though it's all around you, you can't help but see it. So, you know, we did that, right? All of us retweeted the video from the original tweet. And, you know, I feel like I feel overall like it's beneficial to bring awareness to that, because the internet is a great way to bring exposure to things, positive and negative, but I feel like it shows like, hey, this is a problem, this needs to get addressed. But not everyone always feels like, they feel like it gives him power. What do you think?
I think that one of the dumbest things I've ever seen was somebody on the person who he attacked. So the person who he attacked made a post about it, right?
Yeah.
It was like, this is happening, and I'm very upset this is happening, right? Yeah. People commented saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't be giving this the time of day. You should message him directly if you have a problem."
I saw that.
And I got so angry in my bones angry. One, screw you. Screw anybody who says, "Oh, take the high road." Screw the high road.
Be proper and go in the DMs. I'm sorry, what, that kind of person? Him?
He literally just talked about splitting his dick. He just talked about splitting your goddamn dick.
You think he's really gonna look in a DM and be you know, practical and logical with hashing it out or talking it out? No, that's not the kind of person we're dealing with here. This kind of thing needs to be shown to everyone. If he can do that, why does he deserve that kind of respect? You know how many times people you know how many people have taken the high road? No. It's not about the high road this time. It's showing the most obvious, like, negative effects that kind of mentality has, and how it enables other people to act the same way, and it literally stops people from wanting to join, because they're afraid. Yeah. They're afraid. They've been disrespected. They haven't been heard.
Exactly.
You know, and and it's crazy. You know, you have all the talent in the world, but if you don't, like, the thing is, there's tons of different people who look different, who, you know, sound different, do different things. Like, we're all different, but, like, we don't get respect. Like, you know, we're just here to play the game and contribute, right? Mm-hmm. But then you have people like him still running around with people who think like him, and that's a big part of the FGC. Those mentalities do, and that's why people leave. That's why they leave.
Facts.
And if they leave, I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
And it's heartbreaking, because like, you go from having people who are like super passionate about the scene and like who care, right? And they see stuff like that and they actually get discouraged. It takes such a massive step back. And the thing is that, like, in reality, if you don't blow up stuff like this and you don't put it into light, nothing will happen. And that's the one thing I really hate now, right? Is that people keep saying, like, don't give it exposure, right? Let it die out. Take the high road, be positive. Positivity didn't work. Positivity didn't work for years now. We tried that, okay? This is now he's finally getting canceled from events. Why? Because we blew it up.
And you know how
Instead of taking
long
the high road.
that's been like this? And this needs to be done. This needs to be done. And you know, I saw a couple tweets that I didn't agree with, and it was in regards to that, where it was like, well, you know, in very what's the term? In very professional terms, they had to use it this way. It seemed, pretty much, giving this person exposure or bringing any attention to this person is going to make it. It's gonna make. It's gonna give them more attention. Give LTG more attention. That and in so many professional words, that's what it was saying. And I'm like, you probably have to say that because of your position. And you might believe that, okay, fine. But we're on the other end of this.
Yep.
We have to show that, because everybody wants to talk about receipts. And then when you show receipts, then where's all this? I don't believe it happened. I don't believe this. The FGC is just, you know, positivity everywhere. Like you said, we tried that. You know, kind of putting it behind us, right? And to the side of us, like we're not supposed to see it anymore. But no, and you know, all these people, we're continuing to be wonderful. We're continuing to be great, right? But through all of that, and we're striving and we're accomplishing. But then you have people like LTG and people who think like him, that when these things happen, it really does discourage. So we have to, we deal with it every day. And some days more than others, we have to show this exists. If we put things to the side, then nothing gets addressed. And that's why certain things were swept under the rug for years, because people were telling other people, oh, just stay positive about this, stay positive. And then things resurface. But because they saw that positivity wasn't helping the situation, it wasn't bettering anything, because the people were because nobody was giving the consequences to people. Nobody was. So we're taking the high road, right? But like the people doing this to other people,
yep,
aren't. There's nothing being done, and this ends now. It all ends now. That's. It's not all right. Like I should be able to sit here. Anybody should be able to sit here and enjoy a game. Like, just because you feel uncomfortable in your skin, you want to make somebody else feel uncomfortable because you don't like how they look or what they choose to identify as. Like, they're not hurting you. And if you feel that way, you don't belong here. I don't feel like people like that belong here, because we're all supposed to be enjoying the game. That's what it was supposed to be.
I'm going to address something really quick in chat that's going on right now.
Sorry.
Listen, for those of you who are trying to say that Tasty Steve is somehow a part of this all, one, bullshit.
Oh.
Two, if he is employed to host a show, then that is on the show to host him, to have him host and pay him money because he does good work. It has nothing to do with his support for LTG. So don't get that twisted, okay? Yeah. Doing your job, it's like the same thing as me when I commentate event, where I see somebody who should be banned from an event and I have to commentate their match.
Right.
You keep it professional. You mentioned all the good things about their gameplay. You mentioned good attributes about them. You keep it professional. It's your job. It's not his job to get petty and expose stuff on there. He's not paid to do that. He's signing contracts to literally not do that, to explicitly not do that. Mm-hmm. So don't be putting words out there saying like.
Because like if you didn't ask him, also that's a huge assumption on someone that you haven't actually asked them what their stand on that is. I feel like that's a bit of a jump, a reach, if you will.
What should be held accountable? Because listen, a lot of the time too, you sign onto these contracts to commentate before you actually get to find out the roster. Who's even going to be on the roster, right? So, for example, there was an event that I was going to be commentating for, and how am I supposed to know who's even going in attendance? How was I supposed to know who's going to show up there and be invited to the invitational?
You wouldn't know that.
No way.
Right.
I was one of the first people who were signed on to it. So it's like, and then by the time you sign, you wouldn't even know. So saying that you need to know how the behind the scenes works. The bigger issue are the companies that allow these toxic people onto there. That's the difference, okay? it's not about who gets employed from there. It's about who is allowing the certain people who should not be allowed on there. And I understand like saying like boycott blah 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 before this reason. I can understand that. I understand that notion. It's very powerful if someone with power does boycott. But we don't know his situation fully. We can't say here and explicitly say, "Hey, he knew going into that low tier god would be on it." Because no, there was a massive voting phase, and he was already announced to be a host
Right.
way before the voting phase even happened. So it doesn't make sense how that would work out,
Very good.
like
point.
logistically. But no, I understand. But I do understand the point of saying like, rise up together. If you have a real stance against something, boycott.
For sure.
I can agree with that. If I was in a situation like that, yeah, I would actually boycott. I would do it because I think that there is a line that we need to draw, and if we aren't the ones taking initiative, then what are we doing?
Right.
So that's the overall view of that too. So I want to make sure I address that really quick before we end up starting something accidentally, right?
Right, because we didn't say that.
Like I was like, hold up, chat say what now?
Like we didn't bring up his name, and I was like, okay, girl, I'm glad you saw that because I haven't really been fully looking. Okay.
No, it's good. It's
I'm like, nah, that's not what we're talking about. What actually happened? There's clips.
So yeah. We're
talking about that.
We got a VOD.
Right. Whew.
So one thing I do want to mention too, though, right, is talking about support within the scene, right? Is we talk about support a lot. We talk about like, and as you guys know, this episode's called Real versus Fake. Cuddle actually called me up, and we were talking on the phone for a while. She made this tweet like about a month or two ago that really hit hard. And it's just about how actually, you know what, Cuddle? How about you go with this? How about you explain? You explain what it feels like for you, and then we can go from there.
Got it. Okay, so if I recall correctly, I've made so many tweets since the quarantine. So I believe this one was about there are some people who are they'll say, hey, I support you, but they only support you as an entertainer. They don't support you as a human being. And I noticed this because also in reference to this all happened because of I started feeling this way more because of Evo Japan, and this all happened because I think there was like a female second player up there, and Twitch chat, the people in there were being terribly disrespectful, sexist, and so people were having a discussion about it, and they were like, no, this should not be happening anymore on Twitter, and so with that, I noticed that a lot of people were very insensitive to it, saying, oh, it's just a Twitch chat, like, ignore it. And I'm personally not a fan of the ignore mentality, because nothing, in my opinion, gets done when something is just ignored. It continues to fester and get worse, and it becomes a bigger part of a problem. So people don't understand that social media, you see what people think. You think that I don't see what you're saying, but you support me. I see what people were saying. Oh, well, the Twitch chat, like, I don't see what the big deal is about the Twitch chat. Oh, I know you read the thread. This is about women literally being harassed. These are mentalities that people aren't squashing, so women are put in danger at tournaments. And it's looking at the bigger picture, which some people can't be sympathetic or empathetic to it or whatever, so they think it doesn't exist. Especially because I saw a lot of men who supposedly support me saying this. It wasn't all of them, but it was definitely a good bunch. So the tweet that set it all off was someone messaged me asking for help with the game, right? Like helping them like with a certain mentality, how to get to that in Tekken, like timing, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
And I was like, after what I saw what he had said before, he said, I don't see what the big deal is about the Twitch chat, just ignore it, pretty much that mentality. And I said, I didn't respond to it. I made the tweet instead. I said, pretty much you can't support, like, how are you gonna say you support me and you ask me for help, and I said, I have no problem asking or helping people. I teach a lot of people. But if you can sit here and say that you don't see what's wrong with the Twitch chat, even though it's been stated time and time again.
Yep.
And that women are literally put in danger and have been raped, drugged, harassed, attacked. But you don't see the problem with the Twitch chat.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like people don't freaking get what it's like to be on stage. And that's one of the biggest issues that we run into, right? Is that they don't understand. They are like, oh, it just happens, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, for you and I, right? For those of you guys who don't know, who might not know because we're on Cuddle's channel right now, I'm the official caster for Soul Calibur, right? So I'm constantly in front of a camera all the time when I'm casting. And like, as you know, Cuddle's Cuddle, right? One of the best players in all of North America. So it's like, the thing is that what we get is on a different scale, right? We don't get this as a one-off thing. This is every time we ever show up on camera. If we're even in the background of a camera, if we're just talking to somebody in a background, what's said, right? Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And then not only that, it's like, oh, well, it's just like Twitch chat, blah, blah, get over it. It's like the people who are saying that usually are the people who don't get in front of that camera, who don't get to go on stage, or who, if go on stage, go once, right?
But they still exist, you know? They still exist. They go to the tournaments, though. They still do go to these events. They aren't just some troll or... No, these are actual, real people.
Yes. And some of them are, like, actually in our scene, which is the weirder part, right? So you're like, oh, these are just a bunch of Twitch randoms, blah, 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 saying all these terrible things. Like, no, some of them are actually a part of the scene. Some of them talk to us in person.
Yes.
These aren't just some random didgeridoos who are typing things behind keyboards with a million anonymous accounts. These are real people who we see.
And they smile in your
stuff.
face. And they'll literally smile in your face.
And be like, I love watching your content. Oh my god, it's so great to finally meet you. And then be like, Alicia's a fat N-word. And I'm like, what on earth is happening?
All of it, you know, like, and they do that because they know they wouldn't get away with that if they said it to your face. So, and that's the whole thing. You support me, but you don't actually support me. You claim to support me, but when I'm talking about something that really, like, you know, affects my whole demographic, so, you know, women, and then also women of color, you are nowhere to be found, or you brush it off like it's not an actual problem. Then maybe you don't deserve my help. Stay where you are. Stay in the skill level you are, because why would I help someone like you? Why would I? I really took a huge stand on that. I didn't get to where I was being you know, somebody who, you know, turned my nose down at anyone. No, like, when I was getting help from others, I was helping other people too, because you pay it forward. That's what you do, right? But I didn't think it was going to be like that, because we literally put ourselves in danger every time we go on a stage, or we go anywhere. Sometimes you can't even go into another man's room because you don't know what's gonna happen, unless you really know them, you know. And even then, I've heard too many stories. But I had the person who told me this and sent me this message. He was like, well, I was, you know, I didn't know if this was about me or, you know, but I just, you know, because he's a part of a bigger community, another community that and the person who runs that community, I'm cool with, you know, because the person didn't do anything. The person who runs the community didn't do anything. It was this individual from that community. But I said, hey, yeah, I said, what you said wasn't ultimately the only thing. It wasn't the only reason why I made this tweet. I said, but you were one of many reasons why. And I'm like, I said, good luck with your training. And what else am I supposed to say? You know, like, don't say you respect me and my work and my, you know, what I do, and then go and and say, I don't want to hear about this. I don't think this exists. How you don't fully support me then? You don't.
Because that's the thing, right? Is that, like, the moment that because it's trivializing our problem. It's trivializing our problem by saying, oh, well, it's whatever, right? It's flippant. But it's something that we deal with so constantly. And in such and it happens so aggressively. And on top of that, it's people we know. It's not even just randoms. Like, yeah, there are random trolls on the internet who do say crazy things, right? And who are outlandish and do things for shock value. We get that too, right? Yeah. that stuff is a little bit more easier to kind of push off, though it shouldn't need to be. We should have better moderation in tournament streams, and I 100% agree with that there should be better moderation to hold people accountable, and eventually if you ban enough accounts by them, Twitch IP bans them, right?
Yes.
Cool. And also they're implementing shadow bans now, so that if you ban them in your tournament chat, you don't have to worry about a million troll accounts coming up anymore, because there's shadow bans going on for IPs, right? So we have that being implemented. What we're saying now is, hey, cool, these right steps are being taken, but what about the people in the scene who actually show up and they're still being shitty?
And they're still
right?
here.
And we don't, and the thing is, right, is that a lot of the time for these people is that we don't talk about them, right? And that's the biggest issue, is that no one knows anything bad's happened, right? And that's why they don't get banned, right? So here, let me jump over to a topic that I talked about actually, I don't think I talked about the cast yet. Did I talk about Oofmatic yet? The cast?
I don't know. You didn't. Because remember you said, let's talk about it. And because we haven't had a cast since that happened, right?
My god, we haven't.
So
okay, so I'm gonna talk about Oof, right? So if y'all don't know, Oofmatic has been problematic in the scene for a long time. Has said racist, homophobic things, has said anti-Semitic things. Right? Just said shitty things. I don't care about the flat earth stuff. If you want to say the earth is flat, live your best life. I don't care, right? If you're not if you're not doing hate speech, I don't care. Live your best life. If you want to say the earth is a rectangle, live your best life. I don't care. Right? That's all your business. That's what you want to have fun with. That's cool. I'm not shitting on him for any of that. If he wants to be a Trump supporter, be a Trump supporter, okay? That's cool. That's your life. That's
live your life.
Also, on top of that, he lives in Canada, so what the fuck, chat? Right?
Oh,
everyone
Jesus.
needs to lose their minds. He wore Make America Great Again hat on streams, right?
Dog, you live in Canada.
He lives in Canada, and chat wouldn't know that, so they would lose their minds, right? And I'm like, listen, he lives in Canada. Right? You don't get a vote anyways. Calm down, right? It's whatever. Cube Earth, right? So that's the thing, right? It's let that stuff is whatever, right? Live your best life, do your crazy wacky stuff, be all handy dandy.
Right.
Where you cross the line is actually when you start to emit hate speech, and that's where things take a turn, right? So when enacting hate speech, the reason why it's bam, 3 notches back.
You want me to turn that off? Because I apologize. I forgot to turn this off.
Yo, can you turn that? Yeah, turn it off.
I got this.
Cool.
I know exactly where to do this. I remember this from last time. Okay. Let me just deal with this over on Streamlabs real quick. My apologies for that.
It's all good. But if y'all want to support FGC Woke while we're in the middle of this, bam, there's a Patreon that you guys can go check out and subscribe to. You get if you subscribe to that one, you get a bonus podcast, a bonus cast exclusive to the Patreon that y'all don't get to have on Twitch or YouTube. It's exclusive to just the Patreon. Elitism, dude. Elitism as its finest. Bless up, Cyrus. Thanks for making a command, dude.
Thank you so much.
You also get to have your name on the middle of the screen next cast. Whoa. Crazy.
My bad, just dealing with the alerts. I feel so bad. Ugh.
Cool, actually, let me keep talking about Oof for a bit then. So, when it came to Oof, right, was that finally, we kind of, whatever, the Caliber scene kind of sweeps it under the rug. We don't really try to shed light on it or whatever, because Oof's been wilding out forever. And he made one really stupid and belligerent post. Which is more, he's made a lot, right? But finally, I quote retweet it, and I'm like, the thing that set me off, to be honest, was the fact that, he said he said anti-Semitic, homophobic, and racist remarks all in one. He said black people basically can't get income. He said an anti-Semitic joke, and then he said a homophobic joke.
Did he say something about slavery too?
Oh, slavery! It was slavery!
Wasn't it about slavery was?
He said the last time there's a high employment rate of black people was slavery.
Yep, and I was like,
And he's allowed at events? Are you kidding me? So what I did was, right, the first thing I did was I don't follow him. I had to mute him, and I don't follow him. So I had no idea he even made this tweet until someone said it to me, and they're like, wow, can't believe it, right? And I'm like, what? So I go to his profile, I check who follows him, and I knew at least 30 motherfuckers who follow him and enable that shit. Because they're like, oh, it's just funny to see how outlandish he is. I don't actually support him.
Just like LTG.
No. And I'm like, no, you're giving him viewership. So do you know what I did? I quote retweeted him, and I said, if you support him, no, sorry, not even if you support, if you follow him, unfollow me. I don't want you. Right? That's all I said.
Right.
I didn't say ban this man. I didn't say nothing. I just said if you follow him, get away from me. Because I don't want you near me. If you think that you can say stuff like, oh, saying that slavery was the last time black people had a high employment rate, shut the fuck up.
You know, reading that whole tweet gave me like such like, I was like, and I thought to myself, how long has this man been in the scene? I'm going to ask you too, how long has he been in the scene again, girl? How long has it been?
It's been like at least 15, 20 years. He's been here for the entire time. He's been here for the entire time. At least 10. He's probably been here for 10 to 15.
And it's not the first time, right? It's not the first time that he's, you know, said something like this. I'm sure it's gotten worse over the years, but nobody said anything before, right? At all.
I mean, the thing was, the people would mention it in passing, but no one would blow it up or anything. People would just like mention it to each other in private conversations and group chats and stuff, and just be like, "Yo, this guy's wildin', blah blah blah." Like everyone knew that he was a problem, but no one really did anything because he wasn't like aggressive, right? Oh, he wasn't aggressive, so there's no reason to deal with it, right? It's whatever. And then I blew it up, and then I had a bunch of tournament organizers hit me up, and then they were like, "Hey, what's up with this situation?" And I'm like, oh, you guys actually care. Okay, cool. And like, I gave them the rundown, and a lot of them started banning him, right? Yeah. And it wasn't like a movement where like I would love to be like, it was a movement. I said, hey, yeah, let's ban this motherfucker. Yeah. Right? That's not what happened. I literally just made a post being like, hey, stop supporting people who don't deserve support. Even if you're unintentionally doing it because you like to read the whack stuff they say, the moment you follow them gives them the acknowledgement. Exactly. That's different. Blowing them up and giving acknowledgement are two different things. And that's something I really want to teach here, okay? Because some people are like, hey, if we didn't give attention to these issues, they wouldn't be a problem. No. Difference, right? Okay. This is where we educate, okay? So the difference between the two is when you blow something up, you're telling people, hey, this is a negative thing that's happening, cancel them. That's unacceptable behavior. Make repercussions for their actions. Viewing and giving acknowledgement to, without shedding a light on it, but just watching and acknowledging, is a different step too. That one is a negative power. That one takes away, because that one actually enables them, because there's no repercussions for their actions. You like, that's the thing, right? People say you need to be positive, you need to push past. That's not true anymore. We're not at that point anymore. Blow it up. We have cancel culture. I know people joke about it. I know that's a shitty line to use, but in reality, we have it. Right? Yeah. Cancel people who are being shitty. He's now banned from literally every event for World Tour. He's banned from all the FGC events now for Youthmatic. Like, there's a reason why, because it's unacceptable. It's creating an unfriendly environment, and it's like we're at the point now where we tried taking the high road for so long, right? And these stupid ass people who say terrible things have now got a platform and now are rising up, right? Or have risen up to where they are now, right? Because we acknowledge them, right? We either laugh at them or praise them, or we acknowledge them.
I make compilations of rage and salt.
Yep, but we don't try to ban them. That's the difference. Right? Back then, none of us tried to truly ban LTG. We would be like, oh, he's stupid, this is dumb shit, right? We would say that all the time. We'd be against it, but no one ever took a pedestal against it and go, he needs to go down, unite together, this is unacceptable behavior, he's targeting people, we need this to stop. That didn't happen. And now it's happening. Don't be acting like it's a situation where, okay, I'm also talking about personas, actually. Now that you bring that up, let's talk about personas for a second, okay? People, because I get it that when you're online versus offline, right, you act different. When you're in front of a camera, you act slightly different no matter what, right? That's just how life is, right? That's cool. You're an entertainer at the end of the day. You're going to put more energy into stuff that you do, right? The difference between understanding your platform, a persona, and what you genuinely feel are all three different things. They overlap somewhat in some areas, but they are different things, right? So let's talk about when you truly believe something. When he went on that rant, if you can tell me for 1 second during that rant that he didn't genuinely believe that, you are crazy. Yeah, right? Like,
believe that. Yeah. Like, there's no, like, come on. He went on and on and on. That's not also, by the way, persona or not, that's hatred. That's literal hatred. Like that, there's no excuse. There's no excuse at all for that. I mean, you can have a persona and not literally, target groups of people, with their hate speech. That's an excuse. And then at that point for you to just give your very negative mentality, that's what it's like. The persona is like an excuse for you to ship it. And that's not okay. That's just my opinion though.
I completely agree. It's like, and the thing is that that's how a lot of people's defense is for behavior like this. But the thing is, like, when it comes to everything down in it, is that what you do and what you say is who you are, right? If you're creating a persona that's putting out negativity into the world, and that's how you gain views and you grow, that's your life, right? But the moment that you actually start impeding on people, because being toxic and being like, yo, screw this game, blah, 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 that's one thing, right? That's funny sometimes.
Yeah.
I understand. That's his own branding of humor and jokes. We don't tolerate hate speech. That's a different line. We don't tolerate discrimination. We don't tolerate hate speech. Knock it off, right? And that's the thing, is that if we, and you're like, oh, like, and a big concern for everybody was like, don't acknowledge it, rise above it, stay positive. Shine a light. Shine a light on this shit. It is unacceptable. Okay? If I threw one tweet without even like, and I get that like Oofmatic is not even on even a close scale to what LTG is in popularity. We know that, okay? But just the fact that one tweet without even being like, ban him, I was just like, oh hey, by the way, guys, don't support this guy. What the hell's wrong with you? Got him banned from the entire world tour.
Oh,
right?
baby, your internet's kind of.
Am I still lagging?
Yeah, a little. I think it's coming back. Because I just want to make sure they can hear what you're saying.
Fingers crossed.
Because I can hear you now. Because it was a little like beep, boop, 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 beep.
Am I good now?
Yeah, it's just, hold on, let me, you're just you're pixelated now, a little bit.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Maybe, like, I'll leave and rejoin call, maybe that'll help.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay, no. I can see your face now. I can see your lovely face. Okay, you're good. Okay.
Am I still pixelated? Are we okay?
No, you good now. Sorry, it just kind of had a weird moment. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think she's coming back. All right, sorry about that. Just want to make sure they heard you.
Cool, thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to do that. I don't know, it's one of those things too where it's like if we shine a light but don't actually help enforce repercussions, then that is helping blow someone up in a positive way. But if you're doing it so that there can be repercussions put onto this person, that is when you're actually taking a stand. That's called a movement, right? Giving an audience to and creating a movement are two different things. Don't be an audience. Make a movement.
You're right. It is two different things. Yeah, people definitely do get the two confused because for some reason, they think that if you, retweet something and say, "Hey, this isn't okay," that's the equivalent of, "Hey, you're giving this person an audience." No, that's if you're actually, following, subbing, watching and going, "Hey, this is funny," when it's like completely destroying the scene. That's giving an audience to something. Yep. Saying that something is not okay and showing people that might not be aware of this stuff, that this is existing, that, you bring awareness to it. I think, yeah, that I love how you separated that because there is a huge difference. And I don't think people really, some people, they don't understand that. So it's good to definitely, I'm glad you explained that. Yeah, because the power of the internet is even stronger than it was, a couple years before. So it's great that we can use these tools and really like shine a light on things that people face as they're competing and as they're content creating and, as they're trying to, enjoy the scene the way they want. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's good that Twitter is strong. The power of Twitter and the power of tweeting and retweeting, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hella strong.
The reach, the spread, the engagements, that's important that people see this.
And I'm a level with y'all. Like, I'm a level with y'all from a business standpoint, right? Is that if you're coming in here and you're like, yo, you know what? Like, this person is shady. I tried talking to a TO about it. Like, I'm not gonna name drop TO. There's a lot of amazing ones. Like, an amazing TO is Jabali, which we'll talk about a little bit later too. He's an amazing TO. We'll go into his examples. We'll talk about Rick, the Hotto. We'll talk about him too. There's some TOs, right, who don't ban people who have had reports done against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was one girl, actually. I'll talk about this. I don't really think I've talked about this on the podcast before. There's one girl who was sexually assaulting men at tournaments, right? I brought it up to a TO, and they flat out said to me, "Oh, come on, Alicia." As if women can't assault men. And I was like, "Oh, is this happening? Are we really doing this now? Oh, you think I'm going to come back to your tournaments now? I don't care if you're on tour. I'm not coming back to this. That's ridiculous."
Oh my god.
The fact that I had to stand around my own players and be protective of them because I'm worried about them because one of them was assaulted by a female,
Right.
the female I was talking about, and this person still isn't banned from events? Are you kidding me? Right? And that was the thing, right? That's where I drew the line. I was like, okay, what's gonna happen, right? The thing was is that it wasn't my place to blow it up. It's not my place to blow it up. It's up to the victims if they want to actually have it blown up or not, right? Which is why we talk about Sarah Blast. Sarah Blast was a victim of hate speech,
Right.
but Sarah Blast was the one who put out the tweet and put out the message saying, "Hey, this happened."
Tweeted
And that's
that.
why exactly. And when you choose to stand up, we will stand with you.
Yeah.
But we don't have a right to be like, "Oh, this happened to somebody," and tell someone else's story or tell us an experience that happened to somebody else because they aren't ready to deal with that. It's on their own time, right?
Such a good point because and Sarah Blast literally made the post and even with dealing with all that posted it like, "Yo, this is what happened to me," on their own terms. That's the difference.
Yep.
Instead of except we knew about it too. We're like, "Did you guys see this? Did you guys?" And then we just took the clip and just didn't even ask or anything. Because that's also pain that they have to relive if they see that.
And honestly, who the female is, Titty J Tran, as she might change her name like for the millionth time, used to go by Amethyst Kelly. That's the name of the person I'm talking about. I don't mind name dropping. Fuck that bitch. Touching up on people without consent. Fuck that shit. No, I'll name drop that. That's messed up.
I did see the name a few times and has anything happened? I'm sorry, to continue with your story, did anything happen in regards to
No.
Because they said that men can't get assaulted by women, but they do.
No one. That's the thing, though, right? Is that they didn't. No one ever explicitly says that, but they treat it like that. That's what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Is the moment that I bring up if a man's been assaulted by a female,
They kind of go.
they're like, they can flip it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, are you serious? Because there should be equality in that, right?
Right.
If a
Yeah, of
man
course.
gets sexually assaulted by a female, ban them. Ban that female.
Right.
Okay, that's unacceptable. Equality. I expect the same thing to happen if a man touches a female. Do that same shit back. Do that same shit the other way around.
Of course. No, I completely
Make that
agree.
equal. And that's the thing, right? Is that like sometimes people tune in. They're like, "Are you guys anti-men?" No, we're pro-equality. We want everybody to be safe,
We just want the same treatment, like.
right? We just want everyone to be okay, right? And that's the thing, right? Is that sometimes people tune in late and they just hear us on a rant and they're like, "Oh man, look at these women against men again," and it's like, no, we want everyone to be safe. Like listen.
You're there, look at those damn women
And,
doing
right, their tomfoolery. It's like the reason why we're being like this, right? It's because a majority of the scene is male dominant, right? It is male dominant.
Yes.
So that's the reason why a lot of the time, we do end up referring to men a lot of the time, but it's because it's male dominant, right? The same thing would happen vice versa if we talked about if the majority of the scene was female and a lot of the same acts were happening, we would still discuss it that same way.
Girl.
And that's a thing.
Look,
right?
did you see how I mean, look at what happened when you talked about how I forgot, you said her name just right, but she was assaulting men or harassing them at tournaments and
Sexually assaulting. She's touching them.
sexually assaulting. She was doing that at the tournaments, right? And look at what happened. And they didn't even though men are the majority, and they still didn't listen to that. Think about how it would be if it all if the scene was male, if there was less men and they were in our shoes, right? If the women were the majority, how it would be even worse. Like there'd be even more like things not done, and more like, oh, it's fine, women can't sexually assault men, or it would just, it's.
That's the thing, right? Is like it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. That's the thing, right? Is that it was brought up, things sparked up. I started talking to TOs, and a lot of them were like, we need to investigate the situation. I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, I just gave you 3 confirmed cases. All 3 victims are willing to talk to you about it. What more do you need?
Right.
Right?
Right.
All 3 victims are willing to talk to you. What more do you need? Right? And then they're like, we just need further proof. And I'm like, she was literally putting her tits on the back of their head. They said, please stop. I had to take her and move her physically off of them. What more proof do you need?
You don't. That's all the
Besides, we
proof.
that's physically
That's all-
assaulting
that's-
someone sexually.
Yeah.
And I had to physically move her off of them. And you're still saying you need to investigate? There's 50 motherfuckers sitting there. Ask any of the witnesses. This is just one occasion. This happened time and time again. Ask any of them. They were all there.
Right.
We were all there in the scene. This was my setups. This was while people were playing in the goddamn venue.
And that's when all that was going on. So you had tons of witnesses, and you already had 3 who
Three victims willing to talk about it.
Exactly. So what else did you
And she's still not banned. And she's still not banned. Right? Why? Because the inequality, right? Because women can't sexually assault men in the scene. Bullshit. She sexually assaulted men in the scene.
There needs to be consequences, you know.
There needs to be.
And when we talk about equality, we need to talk about that across the board when it comes to consequences or just things being done to further and better scenes. So that also means, you know, consequences for women that do that as well. For sure. There should be no difference in that, of course. Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, one of the comments that happened about this whole thing, by the way, like, Kay was brought up something that Kay was said.
Oh, the last thing he just said. I see it. Yeah. Oh.
But they probably liked that. I bet someone said that, right? Some of the main comments said was like, why would you be against someone pressing their boobs against you?
And also, it was another comment about I would like something like that. I don't know why he wouldn't like something like that. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah. I saw that.
And it's like, and that's the thing, right? Is that like to get graphic, one of the situations that she was in was that she gave 2 men unsolicited blowjobs, right?
That was the tweet.
Unsolicited blowjobs, 2 men, 2 different men, right? And the thing is, right, is I'm not going to name drop victims, right? That's not our place to talk about that, right? So, she name dropped the victims, by the way. Fun fact. Just so you guys know that. So this is like gonna get real emotional for me because it's like it's something I'm so heated about.
Take your time.
She put out a twitlonger. This was a while back, like during last year, where she talked about what she did. Right? So okay, so someone's asking how do you give an unsolicited blowjob. I'm gonna teach you guys about consent in a second. Don't worry, I will go through all that for you so that you guys can understand how consent works. And like that's the thing, right? Is that people are like, oh, how can you give unsolicited, like lol, unsolicited? No, trust me, right? This is sexual assault. Take it a bit more seriously, please, right? You know I love you guys. Take it more seriously. She name dropped her victims at her twitlonger, saying that like, oh, like I never assaulted them. Like obviously I didn't. I gave them head. Like, okay, 1, you were sober and they were drunk, so consent's already out the window there. 2, you cornered 1 into a bathroom when he went to go take a pee and locked the door behind you. Okay, big no sign. He says, oh, haha, no thank you. And you continued while his pants were down to try to go down on him. That's already assault.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And him in that situation, right? This happens to a lot of rape victims. Flip the story around. Make it.
That's exactly what I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking. Yeah.
Flip the story around. If this happened to a female, I'm gonna give you the same scenario as a female. Ready? Ready for this? Same scenario. Bring that shit around. Is that you have a man going in at a female saying, "Hey, blah blah, like, I'm gonna eat your coochie. I'm gonna go in, right?" She goes, no thanks, I'm good, right? I'm gonna just do it, okay? And then she feels nervous, trapped in a bathroom that you just locked the door in.
Yeah, it's forced
right?
at that point.
that you just locked the door in, and then says, "Oh, I guess, haha, okay." Right?
Yeah.
You said no. You already did not give consent. Even if you say yes after that, it's done. Right? You were put into a pressured situation with a locked door in an enclosed room where you originally said no, and you're under the influence. This is not consent.
No, not at all. No.
And right? And that's the thing, is that if you flip the scenario,
Then
and that
people
was
are
a
like,
female,
oh, okay, we get it. But
right?
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is that that's how it becomes an unsolicited blowjob, right? And that's why people didn't take it seriously, because they're like, how could a blowjob not be like, it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
No, like, and I'm gonna get more graphic. Right? So, as a lot of you guys know, like, especially those who have biologically male genitalia, who have penises, is that when you're not in the mood for it or you don't want it, you're not going to perform because you don't want to. This dude did not come for like 30 to 40 minutes because he couldn't, and he was trying to make it end. That's fucked.
Oh my god.
That's fucked. Because how else can he make it stop?
Right. Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fucking assault. Another person didn't even come. He was attacked in his car by this person. Right? In his car. And he felt guilty because she didn't have a ride home and everyone was gone. And he's like, okay, do you know what? I don't want you to be unsafe outside. I'll take you home, right? Yeah. And then she assaults him. He doesn't want it. She does it anyways. He flat out doesn't come because he doesn't want it.
Right. Yeah, no,
right?
Yeah.
And he eventually goes, please just stop. It's like just off, right? And it's like he tries to be nice about it. He tries to be like passive about it because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, because she was like really negative about herself earlier on and stuff. Even though he didn't want it, even though he said no earlier, none of that mattered. And that's the thing, right? Is that all of this, these are cases of sexual assault. These victims were willing to talk about it to people. Right? They weren't willing to talk about it in public. These victims are still not willing to talk about it in public, by the way. So don't, please, for the love of God, same girl, by the way. Yeah, same girl. For the love of God, don't try to hunt down for victims. Let these people be and live their lives. They're wonderful human beings, and the fact that they even came out about their stories. By the way, let's go one step fucking further, actually, because I fucking hate this.
All right, let's go.
One step further is that I was drinking in my friend's room at a tournament. I can't say which tournament it is because then everyone will know. Like, people will start figuring shit out. So at this tournament, drinking in my other friend's room. We're playing like board games at night because people were running casual sets, but there's only so many casual sets. We're playing board games on the side while waiting for casual setups to open up. The unsolicited blowjob, happened in my room, in my bathroom. I wasn't in the room because I was in a different room. I came back to the people who I was staying in the room with telling me that happened in the bathroom.
Oh my god.
So I was like, what? And the way that they told me the story happened was like, oh, she just walked in after him and then blew him, haha. And I was like, dude went to go take a pee and got his dick sucked? I guess that's pretty godlike, whatever, right? Not realizing that, like, oh, he didn't want it.
He was assaulted. Yeah.
He was assaulted. I had no concept. I was like, whatever. And then I DM him, like, hey, dude, when you get your dick sucked into my bathroom,
Right.
Please don't do it in my bathroom. Take it to your own room, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, for sure.
But
and
he
was
was
whatever,
like,
right?
Yeah.
All right, so he's just trying to blow it off, and then later on, he brings it up that, like, what happened. It was actually one of his best friends who brought it up with me what happened, and then I hit him up and I apologized, like, holy shit, I had no idea. And then he talked to me about it a bit, right? And I was like, damn, this isn't tech. This actually happened within the FGC at a tournament, so this definitely is Tekken. This is definitely Tekken.
This is definitely Tekken.
Definitely Tekken.
We talked about Tekken like for 5 seconds.
This is literally Tekken every 5 seconds, because this is the goddamn FGC and offline. So I don't know what more Tekken you can get than that.
But continue, love, right?
So it's like, that's the thing, is that we have people like that, and that's the thing, right? Is that half of you guys don't even know the story, right? And it's like, oh, shedding light on the situation, or do we actually rise together and get someone banned?
Right. Instead of just, oh, take the positive route and we put it behind us. If we do that, there are going to be more victims.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
not feeling that.
To the point where this person, when they go to events, I literally have to be standing near my players 24/7 because she's assaulted one of my players before. So it's like I have to literally walk around with my players because I'm protective of them. And then if I'm away from them, I message them. I'm like, hey, like let me know if you see, like if she's in the venue at the same time as you. I'll be over there in 2 seconds, right?
Right.
And they text me and they're like, hey, she's here. I'm like, cool. And I walk back over and I stay with them. And like that's something that I shouldn't have to be a bodyguard from people who've been sexually assaulted.
Right.
Right? And like that's
Oh, Alicia, I wanted to say, something that I've noticed with excuse me. So, sorry again. Okay, so something I noticed when people don't take men getting sexually assaulted as seriously, they always assume that the man can overpower the woman. I've noticed that too. They assume that men are stronger than women, and automatically you should be able to force her off of you or like push her off of you or something like that. But I think people are failing to understand that like it has nothing to do with that. It's literally you're being pressured, you're being cornered, you're getting attacked. Like it has nothing to do with that. Like it's not oh, you're strong, you're a man, automatically that means you fight them off. It doesn't work like that. And that's something I noticed too.
Beyond that too is that people freeze up. Okay.
Yeah, you're like, is this really happening to me?
That's something that happens is that people freeze up. And that's not against anyone, that's not against them, that's not against, right? It's just the fact of the situation is that sometimes people freeze up and they get scared. And you can't expect them to be able to get hot-headed and overpower. And and some people don't have the ability to overpower. Some people aren't as strong as other people. And it doesn't matter about genders. At the end of the day, sometimes it comes to that too.
Exactly.
And if you're being coerced into stuff, that's not consent. Right? So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And you know what? Like it's heartbreaking and it's shitty. And I think that we're at the point now where we have grown as a community. And the reason why we do these podcasts, right, is to shed light on situations like this, to talk about this. Because a lot of the time people don't understand that this can happen. Right, where like I know like earlier I'm not trying to call you a dude in chat, like I'm just trying to say like, right, is that like, like how do you get unsolicited blowjob, lol, right? It's like, and I get like you're being respectful after, I'm not trying to be like, oh man, fuck you dude, I'm just saying is that like you made the comment, right? So it's like that, like that's the thing is a lot of people have that mentality where they just don't understand that this can happen until it's explained full out, which is why we do podcasts like this, to teach people,
right? Not to shame them.
Yeah. It's because, like, listen, if you don't know something and you're ignorant towards what's happening, that's fine. This is why we educate you, because we care. And we want you guys to be, and we want you guys to know and want you guys to be informed. So y'all can stop being sleep, get woke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Because that's, like, the whole thing. Like, we bring, light to this because, there might be things that you're not aware of for whatever reason. And it's to make the community better and safer for everyone involved, and to respect each other. Jesus. But, yeah, like I said, we're not here to shame anyone, but what happens is like, we're speaking up on this stuff and, you don't want to hear about this. You don't have to then. It's not for those who don't want to hear it. But for those, all you who showed up today and always do, new and old, thank you. Because, like, this is how the change happens. There's many ways that change happens, but this is one of them. We like, Alicia, she this is an emotional thing for her to talk about, like that's reliving it, and the fact that, she tried to get something to be changed, and also one of her players was sexually assaulted, and to feel like, you're trying to do everything to help them, you're trying to defend them, and do you feel like, you did everything you could, right? So it's like, and it hurts. It hurts because,
That's the thing. It hurts because what happened is that instead of it being like, it like, okay, like I'm gonna shit on this TO for a second without name dropping them because they are a good person deep down, but what they did was shitty. Okay, so they said they were gonna look into it. Right? They go to look into it, and they exhausted the victim. They were messaging them multiple times over stuff, like, and just they exhausted them. Right? I was like, listen, have one conversation with the victim. Have one conversation with them. If you have any questions prior to that or after that, ask me, right? I don't want them to get exhausted from this. They're already nervous about talking about it. And if they decide to not talk about it suddenly, we're going to respect that and move away from it, right? And the TO was like, yeah, 100%. He was completely on board. He's a wonderful person. He completely was on board with this idea. And the problem is that, like, the victim felt obligated now that it was in the open, and now that the assaulter name dropped him.
Oh God.
That he had to talk about it. And I was, and that's fucked. Like, you know what? It's not, and that's, like, I'm sorry, what kind of psycho shit is it for you to name drop your victims? What kind of psycho shit is that?
Because the person didn't think that what they did was wrong.
Like, are you, like,
you know?
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That, like, it's...
Yep. Okay, so how it happened was the assaulter did it first. Or no. Was like, put their name out there, so, you know, they felt like they had to at that point. And that was when the tweet longer was made? Is that when that happened?
Oh, this is what happened was, like, this is the full rundown of, like, the timeline of it all, right?
Okay, because I just...
Yeah, no, it's all good. The timeline was basically Polishina, God bless her soul, right, tweets out saying, like, why is this person not banned? Right?
I love her so much.
She just tell you how it is, okay? She's just she's like, why is this person not banned? They assaulted people in the scene, right? And then also, like, doesn't name drop me, but mentions the fact that, like, there's a team owner out there who has to literally protect her players from this assaulter. Why is this happening, right? And I'm like, damn, bitch, like, go off, right? And that's when
she's awesome.
And then so Polishina did not name drop. She did not tell anyone anything. She just says, hey, this person should be banned. They sexually assaulted people in the scene. Okay. And then what happens? The assaulter puts out a tweet longer going, name drops both victims and goes, yeah, well, like, blah blah blah, like, tries to paint it off as different. And then, oh my God, even worse, she mentions a case that no one knew about.
So she had another one.
She had another one that no one knew about. And I was like, are you serious? Like, no one was even accusing you of that. Like, what the fuck? Like, you literally have a whole different thing. Like it's actually psycho. Like, it's insane. It's insane. All in Wakewood Weekend? No, this is over the course of multiple majors. Because she's allowed at multiple majors.
I didn't even know that.
So this happened more than once. The only time where I lost my absolute mind was at CEO. That's where I lost my shit. It was over after that. Like, that was my tipping point. I boiled way the fuck over. And, yeah. Where literally when she would walk in my presence, I'd be like, fuck off, get out of here. Because I was so done. And she listened. She was at least nice about that, where she would walk off and fuck off. But, like, the fact that she was, like, there was, okay, more than just the two guys who I mentioned before who got assaulted. There's additional people, about 3 to 4 people, right, at these setups at CEO, who had this girl pressing her titties all up on them, right, who these dudes did not want it, right? They're trying to lean away and hunch over. They're literally playing they're playing a set. They're holding controllers playing.
Right, they're focusing, right.
In a match, and then this is happening to them, right? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not okay. That's
and that's the thing though, right? Is that the one thing I love about Jabali is that I'm 100% sure that if I bring this up now to him and we have a talk about this, he would take action, because he would never let this stuff happen in his scene. He would never let this happen in his own majors. Do you know why? Because Jabali is the beacon of what a proper TO standard should be.
He reacts kind of quick, like, my God.
Him and Rick
Very
Rick
quick.
are quick. I like the rhyme.
Rick is quick. Oh, I mean, yes, they
Rick
are.
is quick.
But, you know, I'm gonna say it like this though, girl. None of this they wouldn't even have to respond quick. None of this would happen if people didn't speak up. I'm just gonna tie it all back, you know, to what we were talking about as well, because people speak up, tons of people. That's why stuff is getting changed, and TOs are saying, "Oh man, like, can't have this at my place, you know." And I don't condone this. I want to show my community that I'm on board with them. I'm for them. You know, I listen to the people because I don't follow this shit. Like, this is wrong, and I think that this says a lot about how you feel about your community. You know, I feel like we should make at some point like like a diagram or a chart, the tiers of community, really, because it has to reach them. But how does it reach them? Because the people have to voice it. They have to talk about it. Whether it's, somebody else or, either way, it's come up, right? There's been light shed on it, whatever the situation was. And because of that, like, that's good. That's good. Feels good.
It just, at the end of the day, right, is that you have, like, that's the thing, right, is that was a scenario where someone was attempting to get blown up over this, and it didn't happen, and it's why situations like what's happening with Low Tier God or what happened with Oofmatic, where things blew up, right? It's not giving them an audience or a pedestal. It's tearing them down to where they should be. And that's what it comes down to. And I know that sometimes people get them mistaken, where it's like you're giving them an audience, you're giving them a pedestal to talk about. And no. This is us saying, hey, this is unacceptable. This is our standard. They crossed our standard. Take them out. That's not okay to do. If he wants to, like, that's the thing, right? Where I talked about Matic. If he wants to believe the Earth is flat, let him. If he wants to support Trump, let him. If he wants to do all that kind of stuff, let him. That's his life, right? Save the LTG. If he wants to rage quit in video games, let him rage quit. If he wants to talk shit when playing video games and yell really loud, let him do it. That's his life. It's when you cross the line and come into hate speech that you should not be allowed. You should not allow to be on the platform. You're going only against TOS rules. You're going against YouTube guidelines. You're going against tournament guidelines. You shouldn't be allowed. And they should be held accountable regardless of what clout they have, regardless of where they're held in respective to their impressions. And like let's be real, it's clout armor. It's clout armor, right? They're safe because they have so much clout.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, a lot of it. And they have people backing them up.
And it's like when you got a tiny army like that, right? It's like, yeah, that's how it be. And like, what do we do to stop that? Listen, I don't care if you have 1 follower or 3,000. Like, what matters right now is that if you don't agree with it, that you rise together. And it's like, oh, isn't that a hive mentality? No. It's taking a stand for something you believe in is unacceptable. And it's saying, hey, do you know what? I'm going to talk about this too. And that's what that is. And that's the difference. Hive mentality is where you blindly follow into something because you have no association with it, but someone you care about has association with it. Mm-hmm. This affects you all too. Him saying hate speech affects you directly whether you know it or not, whether you watch him or not, because it's intoxicating your FGC and you're a part of the FGC. So that's no longer about, oh, Alicia and Cuddle care about it, so let's band together, right? It's like, no. It involves you.
It's everybody. It affects everybody.
That's right, it affects everybody, yep.
Yeah, like, and that the bigger picture, like, it's affecting everyone. Because what is he doing? He's enabling other people to be as hateful as him. Yep. On many different accounts, and literally and metaphorically speaking, because he has multiple accounts that have all gotten banned, and it's anyway, yeah. And so, like, it's supposed to make this place safer and weed out the hate, consequences, every. We need people there needs to be consequences, man. And YouTube, for some reason, I kind of like was sifting through comments and reading. YouTube, for some reason, hasn't, I guess he hasn't gotten banned from there for some reason. And that's what was discussed, and I wasn't sure why.
How can that not be banned? That is so against guidelines. And even YouTube, by the way, updated their policy only a few months ago. They updated their policy where you're now not allowed to bully people online. Not even about hate speech. You're just not allowed to bully people, right? This, if you're gonna go as stupid and be like, oh, won't you really consider that hate speech? He still crossed that line too. So there's both.
Multiple times. Did you see the questions?
Multiple times.
Did you see the one where it says, if you had the chance to talk to him right now, would you have him on? No, but what would you do? I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you answer that one too, because I don't like him.
If I had the chance to talk to him right now, would I? No.
Like, what is there to talk about? He's already done so much damage.
Listen, I'm gonna explain why, right? Is that usually when you want to talk to somebody, you want to clarify a situation, get their perspective, right?
Yeah.
There's no perspective on hate speech.
There's none.
You just a dumb bitch. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's it.
There's literally nothing else to that, right? Like.
There's no opinion. There's no stance.
Yeah.
You said hate speech. You are wrong.
And he never tries to say that it's anything other than that. He's not like, hey, can I come on and explain myself? No, he backs up what he says, because that's what he feels. Why do we need to? That's again like us trying, like, kind of taking the high road. I don't need to take the high road on that man. He's made it very clear that's what he feels multiple times over the years. Yeah. We good.
And that's the thing, though, right? Is that if we were in a different situation, right? Not in regarding him, but there was like a controversy that did not involve hate speech, and it was just some bitter drama or something. Yeah, we'd pull somebody on and have a good conversation about it. That's different.
It's completely different. Yeah. And
yeah.
Could be healthy, like, actually, to have that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be healthy to have a dialogue about differing opinions and stuff. That's cool. Yeah. It's not a different opinion. That's different. People who are asking about what did he do, I will link you what he did in a second in chat, so y'all can catch yourselves up.
Thank you, because that would be a long, a
long recap. That's what that is, a long recap.
Thank you for the subs, I appreciate it. Okay, it worked. The alert worked. I turned it off. I'm so sorry.
I'm proud of you. We did it. We did it.
I feel so bad about that. I'm gonna remember, because that was. Yo, Sib's kind of quick. You know, he be kind of on it. Like, you see that he just did that quick. Like, he posted the thing.
God damn, dude! I just grabbed it too, and y'all doing it so swiftly. Okay, bet.
Also, okay, oh man, I'm glad Ghost Rider said the thing. Yeah, he's a man of color. Yo, can I just say so? Oh my God, I said, yo, don't you act a damn fool. Not gonna make us all look bad. Yeah, said, why you doing this? Like, really, like, literally, like. Dude, you are a whole clown. I'm like,
you a whole clown. Like, you a goddamn circus. Dude.
Literally.
Motherfucker, that's what you are.
Yes, with the red nose and everything, and the rainbow wig, and I'm just mad because, like, now thank God, you know, he doesn't represent all Black people in the FGC, obviously, because we have so many great examples of amazing people of color who do a great job in the scene, but. Damn it, one person really can ruin a lot. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. You know, like, that's why when you have people of color, you know, representing in a positive light, I like something that was mentioned on Twitter, like, in light of all this posting, like, content creators, like, hey, focus on, let's, you know, support them too, while we're talking about the trash that he is, or that he's done. You know, thanks to these content creators for creating the positivity, and you know, and that's cool too. But while we're talking about the negative, let's also mention, like, let's uplift as well. So it's very possible to do both, as long as we don't completely ignore things that are occurring. Just
like, listen, like, that's exactly the great point, right? Where it's talking about, like, cool, like, it's good to be positive, and, like, you know what, I 100% agree with that, just like Cuddle said, right? Where it's like, listen, if you want to talk about how great Blast is, not only at the game, but the fact that, like, they are an amazing person in general and really funny, like, go check out their content, go support them, right? That's a good way to clap back. Right. But on top of that, also shit on this man for saying stupid shit. Do both. ¿Por qué no los dos? Both.
¿Por qué no los dos? I love
we take those tacos hard and soft, bitch. We take both.
I love that commercial. But exactly, yes, we can do both. You know, we can definitely do both. You know, celebrate the person who, you know, is a positive influence on the community, you know, hasn't harmed a fly in the scene, you know, at the same time bring awareness to you know, LTG really just being disrespectful and just, you know, giving that hate speech, and yeah, it's important to do both. So, you know, it teaches us to appreciate what you know, the people we have in the scene who work hard and have to deal with this stuff. It teaches us to appreciate them, but also to defend them and to have their backs and actually support them, like all the way around. You know, don't just be like, oh man, you know, I like Sarah's you know, gameplay, that's awesome. Oh, but I really don't think they should have, you know, I think they should have sent that DM instead. Oh, don't you be that person. Don't you be that person, man.
That is where we come into the topic of fake support.
Because of what?
Because if you actually gave a shit of Sarah as a person and respected Sarah as a person, you'd say, go off. go off. You have a right to defend yourself on a public platform. Do you know why? He went off on a public platform. There's no high road to take here. You do what you gotta do. This is your moment to feel okay and feel safe in your community. Go off, right? That's how you support somebody, right? It's
Yes.
the same concept, right? Where someone comes to my chat and go, man, you play really well, Alicia. You're such a solid player. I'm like, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I work hard, blah, blah, blah. They're like, yeah, too bad women aren't usually good in the scene.
Oh, I just had a moment about that. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah, you saw that in my own chat. Jesus Christ. It's like,
I was. Yep.
Like we're just gonna deny the fact that I have a coochie for 2 seconds. Is that what we're doing? Since I have good gameplay, we just deny the fact that I have a coochie. Okay, cool. That's how it works. Yep. If you're good at the game, you no longer can be a female because women have to be bad at the game. That's how it works, right? Like, are you fucking serious? Are you kidding me? Right? Don't say that. You don't support me. I'll ban that shit. You don't support me if you say stuff like that.
You literally stopped the stream. You stopped the host because of it.
Yeah, and that's on top of that too, right? If we said the same thing but flip it to color, that's the most racist shit you ever heard. Listen,
Yes!
so if y'all can't think of like, oh, that doesn't seem that bad, Alicia, when you say like blah blah, they're just trying to compliment you, right? Flip it about race. Flip it about fucking race. That should be whack. If someone rolled up to you and went, "You play pretty good for a black guy." Yeah, most black people can't play the game, but you play pretty damn well. You're quite great. That's not fucking support. That's fake.
It's so fake. Oh my God. Oh man, I just had a moment.
And that's why it's unacceptable when people say that about women. That's why. And it's like, it's supposed to be a compliment, Alicia. I'm saying you're good, okay? Compared to everybody else, you're one of the people who are good out here. No, you're not. I'm damn good without we're talking about my gender. Don't bring up my gender. I'm damn good. Call me that shit.
Right.
Call me daddy, bitch. You don't need to
Yeah. Right. In an ideal world, maybe.
Alicia Facey, I got you. Listen here, buddy. Listen here. Okay. Get your shit together. Okay, there you go.
So I had to put on the glasses because, the chat has such interesting points and yeah, like, Iron Spider said, in an ideal world, I'd be able to round up all these people in a class to properly educate them about nuance and linguistics, but I don't got time for that. Right! Right! Alright, there's no time for that. And people don't want to do it on their own. They want to be spoon-fed. And even then, you don't even know if they're going to actually understand. For some reason, people can't put themselves in other people's shoes. Sometimes. Not everybody. But some, they just really just do not.
Rose put a question in chat, so let's quickly. I know we're not at our question period yet. I mean, we can kind of open it up to question period. We're like moseying our way into it. So if you guys have questions, we'll rock with it. We're turning this more into an open dialogue than our podcast segment because we kind of hit on the main issues. We talked about each scenario. We kind of dove into it. So if you guys want to ask questions now or interact with it, we're cool to answer questions and to interact with it. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see the post. Yeah. I mean
I'm gonna bring up what Rose said. Do you want to read it off? This time?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so Rose says, do you ever notice that spectators are outraged when this shit goes down? But after like a few months pass, they're literally neutral or cool with that person who is the aggressor? Yes! But I'll let you go off on it, because...
Cool. So when it comes to that stuff, a lot of the time is that people have the next thing to jump onto, right? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is that at its apex, this is the important thing to learn about this community, is at the apex of all this shit going down, don't let up until action is taking place, right? They need to be banned, they need to be dealt with, they need to have even suspensions, right? Yes. Even if they're not perma-banned, give people suspensions. You can do that. Listen, you'll be banned from my tournament for this year. Following next year, we will revisit the issue. But for now, like, you know what? You're not welcome to this tournament this year. That's okay to do too. That's okay to do, people. You don't need a perma-ban if you're worried about perma-banning. Just take action. And that's the thing, right? Is that these situations die down and people cool out about the aggressors because no action and no repercussion was taken.
Right.
So it just blows over.
So they just forget.
People will remember if someone got banned from an event. Right? You could be like I'm gonna talk about something stupid. I'm gonna talk about something real stupid. A lot of you guys don't know the story, so I'm gonna talk about it real quick. There's one guy. He threw a water cooler at an event, and he's still allowed at majors.
I'm sorry.
He lost to Justin Wong and threw a water cooler. He's banned from all Toronto events, right? This is an American guy, by the way. It's not even a Canadian guy. He came to a Canadian event, lost to Justin Wong, threw a water cooler, right? He is not even banned from going to US events. He wasn't suspended, nothing happened to him. Why? And that's the thing, I can mention this right now, and the fact that none of you guys know what I'm talking about shows you what happens when no one brings something to light. Yeah. That's what happens when no one talks about something. Yeah. When we take the high road, this is what happens.
That's what
you
happens.
guys don't even know that this happened. Yeah.
You told me something new.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that.
And that's why you need to blow shit up, guys. That's why you need to do it. Because otherwise that stuff happens and no one knows about it.
Through a whole water. Like, what? Okay.
No, Justin Wong wasn't the one who threw it. Justin Wong beat the guy's ass so bad that this dude threw the water cooler. Not Justin. Listen. This guy lost to Justin Wong after talking mad shit saying he was gonna beat him, and then he threw a water cooler because he got mad.
Like, hello? That's a ban. Like, somebody could have gotten hurt. Or something. You know, like, we're talking like...
Dude also punched a hole in a wall at an event, and he's still not banned, right? That's the thing, right? Is that people like this don't get banned because no one blows it up.
Actually,
they let it go.
Now I think I know what you're talking about, huh?
No, you definitely know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You definitely know.
Oh
Listen, you and I've been in the scene for long enough to know this shit.
Well, the whole thing, you know, yeah, there needs to be some sort of, like, consequences for that kind of thing. I do feel, yes. Because how you gonna punch a wall? You just damaged property. One. Two, the water cooler.
Damaged a goddamn venue and threw a water cooler. Come on,
like,
bro.
baby, come on.
And he's still not banned from majors? Are you kidding me? I had to commentate this motherfucker's game at Combo Breaker, right? No offense to Rick, right? The situation's old, so maybe he just didn't ban him because it's been forever, right? That's the problem, right? Was that it's not Rick's fault in that situation for not banning. It's not Rick's fault, right? People are like, well, why didn't Rick ban him? No. This is the reason why he didn't ban him. No one brought the situation to light and no one blew it up.
Right.
It happened. It was a one-off thing. We let it go. If we blew it up, if someone broke a venue and we blew that shit up, Rick would have banned that shit in 2 seconds. Do you know why? Because it's how it works. Is that you need to rise together to make it so it's actually addressed and given light to it. Otherwise, how can they take action? How can these people take action if they don't even know what's happening? Right? What the fuck is the high road if you're making it so there's no movement? Like,
baby,
your high road has a dead end, homie. Your high road has a dead end.
Like, oh, another question. Hold on. There's a lot. What do you think we could do as a community to help the fight against fake supporters and prejudiced people in our scene? You know what we're doing, actually, and what we just talked about, right? So we don't generate an audience for those people and the fake supporters. What we do is we say, hey, yeah, if you can't support me like this, you have to be vocal about it. Or it would be nice if you could be. I'm not going to force anybody to do that. But I learned that when you're ready, it's important to be able to speak and say, like, hey, like, if you can't support me for this, like, okay, for example, FGC Woke. We love this. We love that, we were able to make this podcast. But some people feel...
And that's the thing, though, right? Sorry, someone in chat, like Bashio just mentioned, right? Is like, what about like all these other situations of LTG? Like, dude, yeah, 100%. He should have been banned all those 3 times. He should have been banned.
I agree.
The difference is, though, is that people didn't blow it up as much as they should have, right? His army was able to tackle back. We died down about it. No one talked about it anymore. We let it go.
And
right?
now we have to
And now we're not letting it go. Finally, people are staying solid on it, and that's the shit that matters. Okay, so it's like, I get it. He should have been banned those previous times, and he wasn't.
Right.
And that's unfortunate, right? Because it shouldn't have even come up now. He should have been banned. But now we're moving on and going, do you know what? Fuck this guy. Ban him now. And like, that's the thing, is that people trying to make something happen versus everyone unanimously coming together is a whole different category, right? That's the beautiful thing about what's happening is that it's no longer about like it's no longer about the fact of like, oh, you know what, he said something like 2 years ago, blah blah. He did this now. and now it didn't die out. It's still happening, right? This is the perfect time for us to actually do something.
Right, and that's what we're doing. So then, we can prevent other things, or at least stop a lot more of it from happening, and that's the and that's the whole point. Like, that's really important that we are still able to do that, because I know there were some people who were saying, like, why is it like, oh, now it matters? Why didn't it matter before? Why didn't it matter when it came to disabled people or black people? Okay, I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna be super real about this, because back when this shit was happening, nobody was really speaking up, and those that were, it was kind of there, but also the internet wasn't as like banging as it is now, because the internet is like even bigger. Like, the reach and the spread is huge, and so now what we have is this platform, and now we can use that.
Yeah, the FGC grew tenfold. Like, y'all, like, even within the past year alone, the FGC's grown so much. Like, each year it's just evolving so much, especially in online, especially on like social media platforms. Like, it was hard to make a movement like it is now. Like, now this kind of movement is only unique to what it is now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because all that stuff that was like swept under the rug, or kind of like ignored, or like kind of not looked at, that was like pre a lot of like, pre the strength of Twitter, Instagram. This was before that. And so like a lot of the mentality from back then was, don't talk about it kind of thing. I know a lot of things were not talked about. You guys know, you saw all the stuff that resurfaced in the last year and a half.
Yep.
The power of these platforms are really important. So yes, it's because a lot of things, a lot of things were swept under the rug because of the mentality beforehand, pre blow up of the internet, and now we have this, and people are more confident in that, because maybe they have people that are backing them up, or maybe they've seen on the internet that other people are speaking up, and okay, I can do this. Like, it's the growth of the scene, and the growth of the internet, and the scene in the internet. It's helping. So
that's right. That's right.
That's just what I think, though.
Yeah, I mean, like that's another point that Rose just brought up, was like, that's just how the FGC is. It's not going to change. Yeah, friends have said that to me, and that's the thing, right? Is that people say that, and in reality, the FGC is already changing, right? It's already changing. Yeah. The fact that we're even able to sit here and talk about shit like this, the fact that like let's level, right? Let's level about this a little bit more, right? The fact that women can even commentate now, that's a massive step.
Very good point.
All we had as our beacon was Persia. That was our beacon. That's all we had for women commentators. That was it. And God bless her soul, but she was a lone soldier out there. And Jackie O'Manor. That was it. Right? And even then, Jackie O'Manor was more recent. Right? And that's the thing. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. And that we only had two. And now we got like Senpai. And now we got like Romanova. Now we got myself.
And
right?
Alicia.
Hey. We got like these trailblazers coming in clutch and putting in that work. And that's what matters, right? And like, if you can, like, oh yeah, Mizzie's also like learning now. Her. She's getting on the ropes, and she's like learning how to commentate, and she's doing an incredible job too, picking it up so well. She's just fluent. She just like,
she's great to commentate with. She's great.
Yeah, right. She has a natural charisma to her. Really solid commentator too coming up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Is that you have all these talented women finally able to commentate, and not just getting a pool spot, right? We're not just getting pools. I casted Evo top 8. Senpai casted Evo top 8. Romanova casted Worlds for Dragon Ball.
Yes, she did.
Right?
Yeah. So that's huge.
That's huge. That's a step. So to be like the FGC is just a boys club, or FGC is going to stay the same, it's not staying the same. Those people who are telling you that are not a part of the real scene, because they don't realize that the change is already happening.
Right, because I swear those are the people that are in the bubble. They don't actually look within the scene. I'm telling you, if you were actually in the scene and involved in the scene, like you think you are, you would know this shit. You would know this
exactly.
Shit.
And listen, and I won't lie, like, this is where the hot take comes in. It's gonna be a real hot take, y'all. I'm sorry. This is the warning, okay? Sometimes these motherfucking old heads, okay? These motherfucking old heads, they be a little bit gatekeepy, okay? Not a little bit gatekeepy. These motherfucking old heads be gatekeeping to high hell.
I've
Okay?
heard.
And they're like, keep this shit grassroots. Okay, do you not want to get tournament payout? Do you not want money?
You want your players to get paid, right?
Right? And the reason why these old heads are even saying this shit is because they don't even place top 8. So they're like, they don't get the money anyways. So that's why they're like, keep this shit grassroots. Like, motherfucker, you don't make money anyways because you don't make top 8. Shut your ass up.
Baby.
You came up fucking I-23 low. Shut your ass up. I'll go fuck.
Baby, this community needs the money. I'm like that grassroots thing. I'm like, yeah, grassroots, that's all great and good. It really helped us get the solid foundation of the scene. But yo, where the bag at?
Listen, that vibe, that chill ass vibe, the love for community, I'm about it.
Yes,
that's what the FGC is. It's a community, right? I'm about that. Dude, I grew up in arcades because I grew up in the middle of nowhere, in an old ass town where they still had arcades. I understand. I understand that feeling, right? Yeah. But don't be denying the youngins who never got that experience that shit. Don't be denying them that. Right. Being like, oh, you're an online player coming into this now. That's their era. Let them have it, okay? Also, I think, okay, crazy ass story, right? One guy, right? I'm not gonna mention names of anybody for this one. This was a wily ass story. So it's a little off topic, but one old ass motherfucker, right? Legend in Soul Calibur 2. Legend in Soul Calibur 2. This guy was a god back in the day, okay? Mad respect for his gameplay, mad respect for that, right? Is talking to a youngin, a young blood in the scene, who just came second at 3 majors in a row. Yeah. 3 majors in a row, this guy came second. And this guy got selected for E-League, right? Yeah. Tells this kid, sorry, oh, you didn't deserve to be on E-League. You didn't deserve to get selected.
Somebody mad? Are you mad? Tell me how you really feel, because I think you just mad because you ain't
washed up.
Have you not done anything since SC2? I'm guessing that's the case because you can't let anybody else shine because you had your time, and now you mad because somebody who put in the work just like you did back in your day, old ass, and now you want to have a problem. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta go to the bathroom on that note. My bad. Oh my god.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. I'll keep it rocking. But that's the crazy part, right? Is that it's wild out here. It's wild out here. She spat bars. She spat them goddamn bars. Y'all heard that shit. She spat them bars. Y'all know. She went off. She said you old ass. Like, goddamn, dude. But that's the thing though, right? Is that that shit happens. That shit happens because right? That's gatekeeping as fuck. Let that kid have it. That kid beat your ass in tournament too. Listen, he beat your ass multiple times in tournament. He washed the board with you, and you still gonna give that old man stupid ass energy? That's crazy. That's crazy. Give me my old grassroots. Listen, you still got the community here. We still a community out here. That's wild. That's wild. She's all core, no cuddle. That's what that was. That was all core, no cuddle. That's what we calling that. Every time when she goes off, that's our phrase. All core, no cuddle. Okay. Yo, chat. Copy paste that. Hold on. All core, no cuddle. Man, that's our copy pasta. That's it. All core, no cuddle. when she walks back in, spam that shit. Man, as I say, oh, what's up, Dante? What's up, everybody? Hi, everybody. Yeah, so right now is our podcast going on. Cuddle, of course, taking a little potty break. We went into some crazy stuff so far. For those of you guys who are new tuning in, who missed maybe the first half of the stream, we talked about LTG, talked about how he should be banned. We talked about other instances of people who should have been banned who didn't get banned. We talked about tournaments and TOs who take initiative, such as Rick and such as Jabali, who both take initiative. Who's LTG, low tier god. You guys don't know about that whole situation, I can link you to it on Twitter. I don't really feel like going through the full recap again because we talked about it for a solid hour / almost 2 hours now. So there's a link to that tweet if you guys want to go watch what LTG said. And to bounce back over to what Cyber just put in chat. Hey guys, by the way, we have a Patreon, right, Cuddle? Cuddle's about to sit down.
Patreon, yes.
All cuddle, no all core, no cuddle.
What are you guys talking about?
All core, no cuddle. Spit them bars, bitch.
I guess I had to change my username now. Damn.
Encore no cuddles. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
That has to be your next stream title. Is that, by the way?
Encore no cuddle.
That's all. That's your next stream title. That's it. That's
It's
the
just
one.
what you told me just made. Oh my god. Like, this made me mad. That made me mad. Like I also had to go to the bathroom. It's just. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
so mad that she had to go pee, bro. Like that's
Like, you know, like it's just really frustrating because like how are you gonna say what you think somebody deserves? They work just as hard as anybody else, and what they did was they put in the hard work and they earned that spot. Well, you're just mad because you haven't done anything since like '02, baby.
yeah.
Stay washed up,
Even then, this young blood beat this dude in bracket twice.
What did the guy say? Oh, he's not even good. I wasn't even trying.
Yeah, right. He's like, oh, he just won because he used meter. Meter's a part of the game, you dumb bitch. Use your meter then. Fuck you. Use your meter.
It's literally in the game.
It's in the game.
Understand?
No, he utilized sources in the game. He utilized sources in the game.
Right. Like, oh,
That ain't right.
right.
That ain't right.
Like, yo, I'd be terrified somebody was gonna tell me that. You know, like, oh my god.
That shit whack.
Like, yo. Oh, no. Remember, guys, there's a lot of different players from the SC2 era. It's not just what. No. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's that person. No. Who we're talking about is probably somebody you might not know. But there's tons of people, and it's not the one you probably think it is.
There's a lot of people from the Soul Calibur 2 era.
Somebody thought it was Eras. It's not. That's not what that is.
Oh, no. Eras has other stories from, like, Soul Calibur 2, but it's not Eras.
It's not that. No. But I can assume, and I'll talk to you later.
Wait, better question is, when's the last time you guys seen Eras play in Soul Calibur 6 in a tournament? That's a better question.
A real long time.
Come on, guys, right? It's like I haven't seen Eris play in Soul Calibur 6 bracket in forever at a major, so
yeah. Like
don't be coming at Eris when he hasn't even been playing the game recently. Come on.
Tekken 7, he played that even more recently than
yeah. Like
he did it at Strong Style last year. You know, for somebody who doesn't really play the game like that, you know, still kind of sharp. Huh.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's on Soul Calibur 6, right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's not him. Like you guys clearly know it's not him. No, y'all know one name from Soul Calibur 2, and you're like, that must be the one. Like,
no, that's what I was saying. Like, there was a ton of people. Trust me, it's not Eras.
Old ass motherfuckers from then that are still around. Like, come on.
Oh yes, guys, we do have. You already said it. The Patreon. You know, we are putting our heart and souls into this content, and for additional content, we do have a Patreon. So subbing to that will give you access to our bonus content, where we, you know, we don't just talk about FGC, but we talk about everything else. So you know, if you like, yeah, my bad.
It's sorry. It's like a cool ass Patreon, guys. Like what happens is you get an exclusive episode that doesn't air on Twitch, that doesn't air on YouTube. It's exclusive to the Patreon subs. Mm-hmm. A whole podcast where we sit down and we shoot the breeze. We talk about sex ed. We talk about whack ass stories from our childhood. We talk about everything. We talk about movies we watched recently. We talk about wild ass stuff. We also do stuff where it's like where we review stuff. Where it's like, listen, we'll like pull up some like some weird ass photos, start captioning them and stuff. Like it's gonna be a fun time. If you guys want to check out content that's one step a little bit more different, a little bit more creative, a little bit different, like check out that. Like that's like what we call, like, this is like FGC Woke, and that's like Woke Cast, you know, like that's where we go, like a whole different branch. It's just a lot of fun.
Right.
So please sub to the Patreon. Like $5 gets you that whole kit and caboodle. It gets you the whole like the whole 10 yards. You gotta be a part of the Discord. On top of that, you get to check out the episodes as well. And then if you go for higher tiers, you get more perks. If you go for higher tiers, you actually get your name in the middle of the screen. So you guys can have your name on the middle of the screen for our next podcast that's free. Listen, we will still do our free podcast a month, which is FGC Woke. We still will do this once a month no matter what. But if you want the bonus episodes, the ones where you can have Cuddle and I go wild out, that's up to that Patreon.
For that extra, that secret bonus content, you know, because you know we're not just crusaders of justice, but you know there's other, you know, we talk about everything, like I said, but like we talk about everything, and to see that other side of us, to interact with us in another way, that's definitely a way you can do that and support what we do.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, make sure to hit that subscribe on that Patreon. motherfuckers.
And
Not
thank
that
you
we're
so much,
selling
guys.
out, but we selling out. Like, we putting in that work, please. Like, help sisters out. We putting in that work for you. But yeah, man. Any other questions that we have in chat for what we've been going into today? What's been going on in general?
Thank you so much, everyone, by the way. You know, these are such strong podcasts. I really love these.
Yeah, it's been so wild. It's been so wild. Like, man, after that first episode, we're like, should we do it again? You're like, let's do it again. We just
I was like,
relationships.
looks
Oh my
to
God.
you. So, how you feeling? I was scared as fuck. What do you believe is the best way to support people in your position, the minorities and such? Oh, what we said. So whether it's if you support the things that we believe in, like say when we speak up about injustices that happen to us and people we love, and being able to speak up about them and spread awareness with us, even just like coming to our channels and speaking to us, and being understanding of what we go through, I think can really go a long way. Or like I said, or either showing up to the chat. It's in whatever way you feel like, because support isn't always just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop some money. It could be a lot of different ways too, but all there's so many ways to show that support, and so I hope those ways I mentioned help.
Yeah, like I have one follower in particular who likes to drop money on me, but doesn't like to talk much because he's like really antisocial, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that like I actually like messaged him and DM'd him one day, and I was just like, hey dude, like I just appreciate what you do, like I really like the fact that you support me the way that you do means a lot to me. And he's like, yeah, I get nervous talking to people, so I can't really like handle doing this, but just know I appreciate you. And I'm like, cool, that's fine. Like, I didn't mean to like get up in your business, but it's like that's the thing, right? Is that express it how you want to express it, and there's no certain specific way in which we want you to. It's just what makes you feel comfortable, and we just know that we appreciate you no matter which way you do it, right? Like whether you come into our chat and talk the entire time, or whether you're just lurking and passively doing it while working on something else on the side. Like either way, like you're still showing that support and that you still care. And as long as you respect our decisions and our viewpoints, even if they differ from yours, just to respect what we're saying is also goes a long way too.
Right. It's such a good point.
Yeah, there was actually another question that says, do you believe there's a thing called too much support? I think that there's a line, right? There's support and then something that's not support, that is aggressive, right? So there's a difference between aggressive behavior and support. And I think there's no such thing as what's too much support. I think you can support someone to your heart's content till the cows come home, because that's your personal life and that's what you decide to do with your time, and that's how you choose to engage with somebody. It's a beautiful relationship to build with someone. Even if it seems one-sided, sometimes supporting somebody is because it's not about what you get in return, which is the fact that they put their time and dedication into their content, but it's about what you give to them because it makes you feel good to see them happy, right? And sometimes that alone is a beautiful thing. No matter how you wish to push that and how you wish to represent that, there's no limit on that. There's no such thing as too much. The time where it's where you could see the line of too much is where someone becomes aggressive. But aggressive behavior is not support. It's toxic behavior. It's actually going against the support system of the person who's entertaining. So that's the rundown for that one.
You sidestep it. Oh, yes. Oh, I was just gonna say, I always sidestepped it, but we don't have that option anymore. Why are we so awesome? Why are you guys so awesome? Thank you so much for letting us, do this and be ourselves and make it so easy. How do you allow the existence of certain people in our community who keep on breaking the rules offline, who even hit someone offline in the tournament, and yet people still tolerate the shit and no one is being vocal about it? How do we allow it?
If someone hits somebody in offline and no one's talking about it, god damn, what event was that? Yeah. Jesus, I'm trying to think of like the last time that happened. I was like, what the? Okay, let's talk about it in a theoretical sense.
Man.
Because that's damn, that like made me kind of like, what the fuck happened up there in the middle of nowhere for that to happen. But okay, let's theoretically talk about a tournament. It wasn't even theoretical. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it into theoretical because I don't want to. I don't want to dive into something I just don't know about. I read a theoretical situation, and someone hit somebody at an event, and they weren't ejected and they weren't banned. Then anyone who saw it happen or who was involved, if they didn't report it, that's kind of on them.
Yeah.
And if y'all motherfucking sheep, you are all sheeple. If you did not report that shit, that's fucked up. That's high key on y'all. If you guys are standing around seeing someone punch somebody else, you didn't say nothing,
And no one says anything.
yeah. Well, everyone saw it happen. Someone else will report it. Fuck you. You're letting a whole building burn down like that? Really?
And then
No,
and that
report
happens. And that happens. And not just in the community, but like, you know, when people see something happen, and then
Bystander effect, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, still be that person to be vocal. You know,
Like, we don't care if there's 50 people who report the same thing, the same incident over and over again. Do it. Report it. Don't be that person who goes, someone else will get it. Okay, I don't really know the two people anyways. I just saw someone hit somebody. Okay? Yeah, you saw it. Okay? Say something. Do something. Right? And that's the problem, right? Is that if some people out there being bitches. They see that happen. They're just like, I don't know, but not my problem.
right. So they don't even. Yeah, so they say it's not my problem. You know, they stick their heads in the sand. Yes.
The only consequence was that he was disqualified and wasn't banned from the venue.
That's it.
Bigger issue is with okay, you want that's where you take the real stand. Get anyone you can and boycott that shit. Be like, listen, I want a refund because you're not creating a safe environment for me. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat.
I like that.
If you have someone punching somebody else and they're not ejecting the person from the venue, I would ban other people together and demand a refund for you not creating a safe environment.
Right. Yeah.
That would be my final straw. I would try to have a conversation first with like one of the TOs or something. I'd have a conversation first. I'd be like, listen, I'm not okay with this, right? This is the reason why, in a respectful way. Like, I'm not here trying to like shit on your decision. I'm just saying is that this no longer creates a safe environment for anyone if you have somebody here who is physically abusing people, physically assaulting people, punching they shit, and not even getting ejected from the venue, right? That's now a hazard. That's now an issue, right? Because you're letting that violent behavior stay in this venue. We're no longer safe. When we came to this venue, I paid money expecting to be safe here. I want a refund. I want my money back. That's unacceptable. And that's the thing. That's it. That's all I want. I don't care if I already went 0-2, bitch. I don't care if the tournament's already over for me. Give me my fucking money back. Because I'm here to have a good time and be safe. And if you're not ejecting this motherfucker, that's on you. And you're aware of the situation, that's on you. That's on you. And talk to people. Say that also verbally aggressive. So y'all talking about the same motherfucker who punches people shit and is verbally aggressive? This motherfucker ain't banned yet? Y'all talking about the same person? Jesus.
Oh my god.
Who is your TO?
And are there multiple TOs, or is this just this one for this tournament we're talking about?
Yeah, is there more than one TO you can go to?
Oh Jesus.
What? Y'all name dropping? I have no idea. I have no idea about these names, y'all. I won't lie to you.
Which ones?
Don't drop government names though. We ain't about that shit.
Oh no, that's somebody from like 10 years ago who like assaulted his girlfriend.
Oh,
that guy.
Okay.
He's been no. There's somebody. No, sorry. There's two different things being talked about in the chat. I'm sorry. I just want to. Ice Beams is different than Noel Brown's thing because that was what is in the.
Because I was like, yo, like Ice, like okay.
And that's his actual username in tournament, which I think it is. So it's not. Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah, Bong got a point though because this person's been allowed to other stuff even though dude assaulted his girlfriend like years ago, and that yet again in that era of we sweep on the rug looking shit, that shit, and around in that era.
Alicia under government names. Well, if you guys know what DOSing is,
what's that again?
Like,
can you tell me?
So the thing about DOSing is that there's like different ways to identify it. Most people go like talk about IP, like obtaining IP addresses and like leaking out people's personal information. It's actually about leaking anyone's personal information at all. Actually, so if you actually release someone's government name and their government name's actually hidden and they go out of their way to protect it from online and you expose it online, that's actually DOSing someone. even without doing all that crazy computer gadgety stuff that people talk about when they talk about dosing, what they think about dosing is, the reality of it is just releasing personal information that's not available to the public online.
Mm.
So the reason why it's a lot of the time referred to as like revealing someone's IP address or revealing to somebody like someone's personal home address is because that's the same rule is applying. So same thing with government names. It's the same thing, same concept.
Thank you for explaining that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I was like, okay, that makes sense.
People accept him as a loud friend who hypes up the scene. You made a player from the UK cry because they're abusing during a tournament.
Jesus. Yeah, this is like, but I'm guessing there's not enough people. I guess the people around this guy are hyping him up. Maybe they're supporting him, and maybe the TOs are like, oh, we're cool with him. He's just, it's fine. I'm wondering.
Okay, well now I'm gonna do something a little different that I didn't expect to do today.
Wow.
Anyone who witnessed him hitting somebody, who witnessed it, I don't mean like you can't hear it. You had to have
saw it.
You had to have actually seen it, or grab somebody who has actually seen it. DM me after this, and then DM me who your TO is, and I will talk to them. Okay? I don't normally do this shit. This is ridiculous. This needs to be stopped. Give me all that information. I will handle this now, because I'm pissed. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how hype you are. Fuck that bitch. Maybe the problem in the German scene? Oh, wait a second. Do I know this dude?
Do you know this dude? They tried talking to the TOs already?
Because there's one dude in the German scene who told me to kill myself repeatedly, so I'm just wondering if it's the same dude. Oh, I can name drop him. I don't give a fuck. Sasha De Silva. Fuck that guy.
I've seen that name!
Yeah, fuck that guy. He told me to kill myself before. Fuck that guy. He told me to kill myself 2 years ago when I was nobody. And then when I became relevant, he tries to act nice to me. Fuck that guy.
Is it the same? Is it the same?
Yeah. If it's the same guy, I'm gonna die laughing, because fuck that guy. Like, yeah, like it was crazy. So what happened was I got picked up by a sponsor, and the first thing he did in my chat was like tell me how I didn't deserve it and stuff, which was like whatever, people say that. And then he started going off about how I should just kill myself because he was so hostile about it. And I was like, because he got ramped up until that point, and I was like, cool. So, yeah. So fuck that guy.
What, yo?
Also very aggressive towards women. Yep. He called me trans, he calls me a fat fuck. Even though he's banned from my chat, he does it anywhere else he can. And then when I became somebody, he stopped talking about me and started trying to be nice to me when he comes into the chat here watching this stream. Oh yeah, no. Fuck that guy. I don't care, I'll name drop him, bitch.
Oh my god.
That shit I don't fuck with him. So I just thought it was the same dude. So I guess it's not the same dude, right? Whatever.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh shit. Yeah, something needs to be done about that.
I mean, that's what it is. That's right. Like, that's the thing, right? It's that, like, for me, personally, I don't give a fuck, right? I cared back then when it affected me a lot, sure. But at the same time, it was like, yeah. It was like, listen, like, that's the thing, is that people fucked with me a lot 2 years ago. And then now, they try to act nice to me. And I'm like, okay. All right, that's where we are now. It happens too often.
Yep.
Is that one that sends the hate raids? Hey, Ray remembers him. Yeah, dude. That's the guy who would literally raid my channel and people would tell me to kill myself because I'm a trans fat fuck. Which, by the way, I'm born female, born with a pussy. He literally would raid my channel on Twitch saying that shit. And he would get his people to say that shit too. Yeah, so. Oh yeah, Ray remembers that. That was 2018. Yep.
Yeah, this is why, Alicia, you speaking up about this, it's definitely appreciated. I know this is like, sometimes reliving that stuff is hard, but like, you being able to talk about it,
I'm smiling through a lot of it because like, I did cry back then. It did bother me. I cried on stream back then when he raided me and I did all that shit. And like, yeah, it got to me a lot. And I'd be lying to say if it didn't get to me. Like, I remember like Ray had to ban like what 20, 30 accounts that day because people just kept coming in and like saying the worst things to me in the world and like telling me to kill myself and like calling me a trans fat fuck and like saying a million and one things and how no one could ever love me, which is a weird insult to make, but they said it, right? Like it's just a lot of crazy shit. And he was the one who created that. And like that's the thing, right? Is I never blew him up. I never said anything back. I never lashed back. All I did was just ban him from my chat, and my mods shot the shit out of all the people who raided that day. That was it. That was the end of the story. And like he saw me in other chats and would just try to like whatever, ignore me and stuff. And then he'll see me in Cuddle's chat and try to act nice to me because I'm somebody now. And now it's 2 years later, so he tries to act nice because he knows that I'm relevant, and that's it. Isn't that crazy? When I'm nobody, that they act like that, but when I'm somebody, they try to kiss ass.
Wait. He was in here before?
Yeah, he was in here during FGC Woke relationships. And he's talking in chat.
I'm sorry, I'm definitely gonna ban him. I'm sorry, I can't. Knowing good and well what he did to you, I'm not okay with that. He's getting banned, just letting you know. I don't forget that stuff, and you didn't either, right? So
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all right. All right. Ooh, girl. Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking. I'm okay. I'm good. It's cool. You doing your thing.
Oh yeah, he was in here disagreeing with the shit too. He was like, it's a compliment when we were talking about how like when being compared to other women, he was saying it's a compliment. You just take a compliment. And like he's saying shit like that in here.
No, it's really not. Like, also like, cause okay, I just throw this back there again. If I'm playing all dudes for the most part, compare me to them. Like, yo, because the 5 women who exist in the scene, not literally 5, but you see what I'm saying. You know, we're finding all these men. So comparing us to them makes more sense than anything else. So, like, I don't... It's not a compliment, Booski, because I'm literally playing tons of men. I'm literally having to go against male competitors 24/7. Compare me to somebody else, then.
I'm gonna just ban the person from your chat right now. Cool.
Thank you so much.
There you go. They're banned.
Let's go! Thank you. Because that, like... That's trash.
Round of applause! Throw emotes in the chat for banning that motherfucker! Hey, emotes in the chat! Emotes in the chat! Emotes in the chat! All core, no cuddle, emotes in the chat! Let's go!
Are we gonna have to get an emote for that? Because we're gonna have to get some emotes.
All core, no cuddle, bitch! Oh, we banned his ass! We banned his ass!
Like, I'm so glad you said that, because, like, you can get the fuck out of the shit. Like, you don't deserve to be here. Oh. I'm good. You know, I have an anger problem sometimes. Usually I'm fine, actually. You know, I've learned how to really, like, work on it over the years. I've learned how to express myself. But, yeah, that's not all right. That's not all right.
I mean, for me, it's like, if you guys are, like, seeing how I'm reacting to all this, and you're like, whoa, Alicia's usually, like, way more hypersensitive, or she's way more emotional about the stuff. It's like, the thing is that sometimes stuff hits different. You know, some things hurt, and they affect you differently. And this is one of those things that so negatively affected me when I entered into the scene that I almost didn't want to continue playing Tekken. I want you guys to realize that. He almost single-handedly took me out of the scene. And then a second scenario of someone else, another man who took me out of the scene almost, was for the Caliber scene, was Cha-Cha. Right? That's the second guy who came into the scene who almost took me out of the scene. And that's the thing, right? Is that I had the online issue, then I had an offline issue. Right, and that's the shitty situation of it all, and I'll talk about this too, right? Because this is woke. We talk about everything, and I actually have never talked about this before or name dropped him before either. I've never name dropped the situation, but I'm gonna talk about it now. So back in pre-release of Soul Calibur at Summer Jam, I was super nervous and excited to play. This is back when I used to be shy. Kyle remembers shy Alicia.
I do.
I was a baby who used to physically hide behind people. I'm not even kidding. For those of you who might have seen me at events, I'd hide behind Mason or Ninja Dogs or Kenny. I was physically hiding behind people because I was so nervous to be around everyone. Now I'm like the most outgoing person in the room, right? Yeah. So I was just like a nervous little like child, and Cuddle was like my mom.
2018, baby! 2018!
2018! She took care of me so much. Like, so, oh my God, we had this other issue happen before. And I was like, oh, it's fine, Cuddle, don't worry. And she goes, I'm going behind the curtain. I'm talking to them right now. And she was like, she let her go in on they shit, dude. She was like always been there for me. So like, the thing is that baby Alicia like was so passive and so quiet though. Now I don't shut the fuck up, right? So it's totally different. But so basically, pre-release Soul Calibur, really nervous, really excited to finally play the game. I sit down, and it's my first match of the tournament. And before I even sit down or anything, I'm actually talking to some random person, and I'm trying to become more outgoing and talk to people. And they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Toronto." Blah blah blah. They're like, "Oh, do you play in like your local scene?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I talk about my locals, and I'm really excited. And then not even a part of the conversation, not even like in this group, in the me and the person, it's one on one talking. He goes, I hear Chacha walk over, and he comes, "You're not a part of the Toronto scene." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, if you were part of the Toronto scene, I would know you." uh, I'm like, "But I haven't seen you there." Right? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm from Buffalo, but I come up there for every monthly." So I'm like, "Well, I haven't seen you there for the past year." So
what it is.
right? And like I didn't mean it like oh, I didn't see you there for the past year. I was like, I just haven't seen you there for the past year. Like I don't know. Like I'm sorry, did I miss the one that you were at? 'Cause I've been at every monthlies. At that point I was there for every single weeklies back then.
Right.
And because it was on every Monday and I always had Mondays free. And I was like, and then I don't go to the Toronto locals. I haven't gone to the Toronto locals in like the past year now because of weird ass bullshit. So that's a whole different thing. But I love it to death still. That's everyone that got drama in the scene though. But like, yeah, I haven't been to the Toronto locals in a year. This is back in 2018. So at that point, so I've been like 2017 going to 2018, right? So I was there for like the past year, coming out all the time, whatever. Josh was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen you there, blah 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 blah," right? And I was like, "No, I've been there." And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, I just moved to Toronto in like 2016, 2017, so I'm really new, like to Toronto." But yeah, and he goes, "Oh, so you're not from here? Got it. So you're not actually from the Toronto scene." And I was like, well, I was like, "I live in downtown."
Like, why are we getting real specific, my guy?
Like I go to locals every week, and then he's just like, "Yeah," and he walks away mid sentence of me talking, and I'm like, "Okay, so people just inherently hate me, cool, right?" That's literally I picked up the conversation. I was like, "All right, whatever." I try to like brush it off and be happy and whatever. I sit down to play my first match, and it's my first tournament match is against him, right? I never even got to see like Soul Calibur 6 gameplay yet, really. Maxie got auto GIs between stances and shit. He wilding out. I'm like, oh shit, right? So I'm getting GI to shit. I didn't know anything was going on. Killick's move inputs are completely different. They mixed his Soul Calibur 2 inputs with Shiba inputs with like everything in one, and then they swapped the inputs of certain things to be real weird. Like it's just they changed the character a lot. Just some of the moves are the same, but the inputs are different. Like that's like one of the biggest issues, right? For me, I didn't know that, so I'm going in there playing this shit fresh, not knowing things have changed, right? So I get bodied. Dude turns to me and goes, "If you don't know how to play the game, you probably shouldn't sign up for it." And I was like, "What?" And then he gets his shit and walks away. In a pre-release tournament. The game's not out yet.
So nobody would know what the actual inputs are unless you had like the game beforehand and everybody else didn't. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know.
And on top of that, even one step further, at Summer Jam, the labbing mode was locked, so you couldn't even go into practice mode on a setup. There was no way for anyone to know. There was no training mode. So there was no way for me to know. What the fuck was he saying to me?
What kind of shit is that to say to somebody?
So I'm there almost about to cry, and I'm walking away super upset, like, what the fuck just happened? And they're sitting alone, looking pissed off as always, because Forwind has the biggest resting bitch face of his life. Resting bitch face Forwind is sitting there playing alone. People are lined up at other consoles trying to get on. Forwind's sitting there alone playing by himself, playing against the AI because no one's challenging him because he looks so angry. And I'm like, "Hey, can I play with you?" He goes, "Oh, sure, dude." And I like get to go out to like pull up my controller, and he goes, "Oh, Alicia." He reads like the back of my jersey, and he's like, "Oh my god, I know you're from like Brawl Pros Discord. What's up? Blah blah blah." And he's just super welcoming. And that one interaction with him changed my entire tournament experience. Because if it wasn't for Forwind talking to me that day, I would have left the FGC. Because I had to deal with Sasha before going to that tournament, and then I had to deal with Cha-Cha as my first game that day.
Jesus.
And I would have left the goddamn scene if it wasn't for Forwind.
It changed everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Is that y'all can be like, oh, some dudes are just toxic. Does it really affect the scene that much? Just ignore them and move on. It almost took me out, and I fucking cast the top 8 at EVO and the World's Finals, and it almost took me out. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. So don't act like, oh, does it really gatekeep people? Does it really take people out of the scene? Yes,
yeah, it does.
These are people who show up to offline. This isn't some random, like, people are like, it's just trolls in Twitch chat.
I hate
These people show up. They're there in person.
Yeah.
So don't act like they ain't out there.
Saying things like this.
Don't act like they're not. Yeah, don't act like they're not a part of the scene, right? And that's the issue. Is that y'all can't say ignore that shit. It's just Twitch chat being toxic. It's trolls when they're literally showing up and saying this shit and doing this shit, and then getting 30 motherfuckers to raid your Twitch chat to tell you that you're ugly and that you're trans and that you're fat. When, okay, yeah, I'm a chubby girl. I know I am, bitch. Shut the fuck up. 2, not trans. That's just incorrect information. So shut the fuck up about that. 3, if someone calls me any goddamn name, it better be my goddamn self, not you, bitch. Like, that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, right, is that does actually stop women. I have one girl on my team who doesn't want to be a part of the FGC anymore, which is sad because she was a content creator for me and a streamer, but she's done with the FGC. She's done. She needs to get away from it because it's too toxic for her. And rather than like keeping her in and pulling her in, I was like, I respect your decision because I want to support you as a person and I want you to be okay. Isn't that fucking sad? That someone who loved the game, who averaged about 150 viewers per stream playing Tekken, now is at the point where they quit streaming completely. They haven't streamed in like half a year because the community burnt her out.
It's a lot.
Because, and there was a lot of nice people. There was a lot of nice people, but that kind of negativity, she didn't want that. She wasn't ready for that. She didn't ask for that by existing, right? And that's okay. And like that's not okay. That's not okay. Right? And that's what it comes down to, right? Is like, we can talk about how, oh, it's just Twitch chat trolls or whatever, but she saw these people in offline too.
And sometimes all it takes is 1 or 2 things to really just shift your perception of the scene. It doesn't take much. Because it'll hit you right where it hurts. And when it does, you don't want to deal with it. Because then when you see people, maybe you see that other people that you thought you trusted believe the same things, or you thought they support you and they don't, you find out more about people. It really opens your eyes, and some people aren't ready for that. And I wouldn't expect anybody, to want to stay here after experiencing certain things. I wouldn't. And for those that do stay here, cool. And those that don't, I respect it. Either way, it's what you feel you can tolerate or can handle, or what you don't feel like you should have to deal with, or you don't have the energy to deal with. Either way, I get it, man. Shit, like.
And it's wild because, like, that's the thing, right? Is that, like, Cuddle and I have a relatively thick skin, right? We have a relatively thick skin. We deal with a lot of shit, right? We deal with a lot of shit. We blow a lot of it off. Some of it does get to us, right? And that's the thing, right? Is that sometimes her and I will message each other. This actually happened. This happened, I think it was half a year ago, maybe a bit more than that. There was one time that Cuddle hit me up, and way before FGC Woke, way before all this shit, was that someone said something fucked up in the Twitch chat when she was reviewing one of her VODs. And normally she doesn't read the chat when reviewing her VODs, but she saw the comment, and it was about her appearance. And she hit me up, and she's just like, "Oh my god, this got to me. Like, I don't know why this got to me. This is crazy. This is stupid. Like, it shouldn't get to me. It shouldn't get to me, right? Like, I know it's not true, but like, I don't know why this is bothering me so much." And I'm like, I know why it's bothering you, because it's fucked. Because it hit on something that you aren't fully comfortable with, right? And it's like, yeah, everyone's somewhat insecure about their appearance, right? We all know Cuddle's hot as fuck, right? We all know it. There's days where she's not gonna feel like it, and y'all say that shit in Twitch chat, and you think that's Cuddle looking a certain way today with her hair up in a bun, blah blah blah. Fuck yo bitch ass. No, that's ridiculous. No, she's always a 10, bitch. Shut your ass up. And if you don't think she's a 10, shut your ass up regardless. Okay? Because we don't need that. We're here to watch some goddamn Tekken. So, it's stupid.
Oh, my bad. I was just going to say, like, I always used to think it was supposed to be about the game, right? I still think it's about the game, but, like, I know now, like, that's what people look at. But the thing is, like, for example, like, my chin, like, my face, like, it's angular, right? So I've been called, like, a man and stuff. Mm. And like my mouth, like the way it's shaped, and like or if I act a certain way, like I'm like awkward. Like there's a lot of things, or like I'm not as pretty as like the um Asian female players. Like I've gotten that. Not anymore, but like I've seen it. Um and like I also felt like it was like a sense of colorism too. Because black
Yep.
women are just as like pretty, and they're just as gorgeous as any other woman. Uh so like that was like a thing. And I'm like, just because like I felt like there's a lot of favoritism in regards to some races in the scene, so like that was something, especially when it comes to women. It's really fucked. It's really fucked, and especially when I was I was like, oh, I'm doing all this, I'm doing well, I'm beating people, like I'm really like solidifying myself, and while doing all that, and you see that stuff, you're like, it does hit, it does strike a nerve. It does. Yes. 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 It does.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, right? It's like, and one thing that like I know I saw earlier, like way earlier, like a few hours ago in chat, was like bringing up like other women in the scene. Like, listen, we love supporting other women in the scene. The thing about FGC Woke in particular, though, is that this is run by 2 colored women in the scene. All right, the shit that we get is a different tone than what other women get in the scene. All right, I'm not trying to discredit anything that they go through. They go through their own experiences, their own hardships. Men go through their own experiences, their own hardships. We all go through our own shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shit that we get though is a bit different. It's a bit different because we don't just get the level of like X, Y, and Z. We get the level of us getting compared appearance wise to other women when they hit the beauty standard a lot. Like when they hit the conventional beauty standard and we don't.
Yes. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
And like that's the thing, right? Is that kind of likes to wear her hair natural, right? I shot my shit off, right? And it's like, oh, they have like long, beautiful hair and they're Asian. Like, there's nothing against them. I love them. They're wonderful Asian women in the scene, and I support them full heartedly. But we get compared to them all the time.
And
All
also,
the time.
they're lighter as well, which I think is something that also gets discussed. I also, there's a lot of things about that are just like, it should be about like, you support because you support people, but there's a fetishizing that's there. And because in Western culture, I'm also saying like, and also just in the many cultures, you see that the standard is the women are lighter. They literally have bleaching creams and things like that. So, even no matter where you go, not even just America or Canada, right? It's tons of places. I mean, I went to a couple countries and you see it everywhere. Whew. And they don't like that look.
They don't like darker skin.
Yeah, and so that's something that feels a little uncomfortable, and it's the fact that it's everywhere. You look, and so that can cause some insecurity problems. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. Oh, Japan, yeah, Japan, they have like bleaching creams and stuff there. Thailand does as well. Korea does as well. But like the players and stuff, they're really nice to me. Like, I wasn't trying to, like they're kind, but those cultures, like there are like beauty standards, and you see it when you see their models, and like you see what it is. It's just, and then you see it in America as well. Now America has done better with it. They're getting there. You see a lot of different models of color, size, everything, and it's awesome. But those problems still exist, and people. And for women of color to deal with that, that's a whole other layer for us. And it bothers me sometimes because of how I used to feel back then. How am I gonna bring that with me? When I'm in another relationship. I'm working on that now, and you know how hard that is because you don't want your significant other seeing you feel insecure about like, or if they say like you're beautiful. I can't even say. I'm like, really? Yeah. Like, I can't. He's like, believe in yourself. He's like, I know you're beautiful, He's like, you're sexy. You believe that. But,
it doesn't connect, right? Because like it's like deep down, it's like no matter how much they tell you, or no matter how much people try to tell you how you look, it's something that it feels off. It feels like you aren't. And that's the thing, right? Is that there's some days where we do actually feel hot as shit. We do feel like, oh shit, I killed it today, blah blah blah. Take a million photos and kill it, right? But a lot of the time, it's not that. A lot of the time, it's just feeling like shit, and it's like, wow, like I just, I guess like my biggest issue when coming to a lot of it was that I got compared a lot to white women in the scene. Was like my biggest thing, right? It was like I compared to a lot of white women in the scene, and especially when I started dyeing my hair, was that I started getting compared to anyone who dyed their hair. I was instantly compared to, and the thing is that they're all light skinned and beautiful and right, and have like the perfect bodies and all that stuff, right? And it's like, but like in my own standard of beauty, I'm very attractive.
Yes.
But in the public standard of beauty, I'm not as attractive as they're gonna be if we go to the same codes of what they consider beautiful and not beautiful as a beauty standard in the world, right? Those people are gonna be hitting the marker way more than I am, and that's like the thing, right? Is that my brain is logical, so I try to think of it objectively, like, okay, well, if they're hitting X, Y, and Z better than I am, then obviously I'm worse. And then people will come into my chat back in the day, not anymore. Now people know better, and people know that I don't fuck with that shit. But they would try to compare me to other people, right? They'd compare me and be like, well, you're no blah blah blah, and I'm like,
that. And
it's like, right? And it's not even about gameplay. It's not even about gameplay.
Just the look.
Like,
yeah. How you
like,
look compared to them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, sorry, I'm not white. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not like, I'm a different kind of Asian, but I guess I'm not the right kind of Asian for you. My bad. Like,
right.
Damn, it must suck to be the wrong kind of Asian, I guess. Like, oh wow, being a dark-skinned Asian, I definitely like lost out on the lottery ticket. Got the shitty end of the stick there. Wow, like, I was 5 numbers off.
Like it's because for women. When it becomes when people compare, when they look at them in the scene and in other scenes too, it's like becomes like a how they look compared to somebody else. Look at the skill. You ask for women in the scene. You ask for them to be talented or whatever they do. They are, but you still have something. You still something wrong with them. You still want to find something wrong with them. Yeah. They're different. They're all individuals. They're their own people. And honestly, it's great that they're not all the same kind of woman. It shows a diversity. There's a range there of talented women across the board, different ethnicities and everything, different looks. Like that is beautiful. I would rather see that than just the same type of women in the scene all the time. It shows no diversity there. It shows none. There's no range.
And then like one other thing too is that like people think that it's like then people try to go the opposite way where they're like, no, we support you, so we're gonna compare you to other women and tell you how you're better. And it's like, stop. Don't feed into this.
Don't do that.
Stop comparing. Alicia, your beautiful brown chocolatey skin is so beautiful, blah blah. These other 2 women don't have that,
like,
and you have it.
Like what?
Like stop pitting us against each other.
Because they do that too. They do that too.
They want to like counteract the other bad shit, so they're trying to lean too hard the other way. Yeah. It's like, just compliment me. Tell me, Alicia, you a fine chocolate drop, bitch. And I'm like, shit, you right, dog. Shit, okay.
Without tearing somebody else down.
Don't bring other shit into this. Listen, tell me I'm good on my own. You don't need to tell. Listen, it's like imagine if. Okay, hold up. Gonna get a little lewd. Chat.
Oh my.
Warning, right?
Oh my.
Imagine you fucking somebody in bed and then you compare them to somebody else randomly. That's fucked up.
I mean,
no
like,
matter if you say,
I mean, you ain't Beyonce, but I mean, that's all right. Oh my god,
you ain't Beyonce, but that booty fat, bro.
You are dumb. I can't with you. But I think that's a really good example. How you don't compare somebody? Yo, you in bed with me, dog? Look at me then. Like, what? I'm not Beyonce.
Like, I'm not here throwing it back for a real one. Stop bringing up other bitches. The fuck? It's like, I was like, wow, you throw it back better than my ex. Why are you? That's not a compliment, bro. Stop bringing up other people into this. This is weird. Now I don't. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, I was thinking about other bitches in bed with him while he's fucking me. Like, is that what's happening?
I'm not feeling this now. Like, I got turned off completely. I guess my panties will stay dry. Excuse me.
Yeah, I guess. And now the well is dried up, bitch. We out.
Desert life. Like, if anybody does that, drop them. Don't do not say that to somebody in bed. That is.
Don't even. Think of it that way, y'all. what would mean more to you? Someone complimenting your shit, right? Someone complimenting you, or someone comparing you? Either positive or negative, it's still shitty to do. Think of it that way. That's how y'all learn. That's how y'all fucking learn.
I take the compliment, please. Not the tearing down of others. I'll take that one for 500, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, bet.
I'll take that one, please. Oh my god, what's wrong with my thing? Oh no, it's good. Great point though. I completely agree. Like, it's just, it's important to not tear down others. If people could be individuals and stand on their own, and you can appreciate them for what they do individually, then that's good. But that whole thing with the putting women against each other thing, not a fan. Stop that. Doesn't change it. All the women like in the scene do different things. They serve different roles in the scene, and what they do, they all stand out differently. Everybody has a different journey, and I think it's important for people to understand that. No person in general is the same. So appreciate them for their individualism. That's really important. Oh, thank you so much for putting that in Nightbot.
It's a long ass paragraph, bro. I'm trying to read this shit. I'm like, man, I just fell asleep 3 times in this paragraph, man. Send 2 sentences. You're limited. We're limiting you.
I mean, I agree with Static though, because it's appreciated.
I'm not finished reading it yet. I'm not finished reading this shit. This is long.
I mean, Bong, I do fight off men with a stick. I'm not even trying to like the DMs. Everybody wants to try their shot. It's just not. Nah, I'm good. Yeah.
I'll even pull it is more important. No, it's true. There we go. Sorry. Okay, now I read it all. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. It was a long ass paragraph.
Appreciated though, by the way. Thank you.
Alicia, why are you so thick? Listen, bitch, I'm a thickums, okay? It's how we coming, 2020, baby.
And savage, by the way. That was mentioned in the chat as well. Thick and savage.
I'm thick and savage, baby. You're the best of both. We got hot tamale out here, okay, bitch? That was for you, Ray. That was for you.
Oh. The term dummy thick makes me feel good. I don't know why, but the term is really cute. I really like this term.
Whenever I call myself stupid, Rich goes, "You stupid thick."
Stupid thick, baby. Oh, I love that term.
Stupid. When I mess up on something, he goes, "Oh, you stupid thick." I'm like, shut up.
I love that.
Shut up. I need to get out of here, bro. I gotta go. Oh man. Let me know. Shut up. For National Horny Day? What is that? Is that even a thing, Scar? Is that even a thing, bro? Scar wilding out already, dude. He's like, at midnight, it's natural. We eat this coochie day. Bitch ass.
I was waiting to see him post something. Oh, I knew it! It's on his timeline!
Is it turning in at midnight, or are you late to the cause? That's the real question, though. That's the real question.
Hi, Scar. Thanks for coming in. Oh, right, my face.
You appreciate it, but we need to know now. Is this a midnight thing? It's already happened. Has it been this whole day? Because that we need to know. Because it was National Horny Day. What nudes are you sending? Because you need to get that shit worked out. Facebook podcast, yeah. You poor thing. I'm sorry, Cuddle.
So, National Horny Day. Heard it was a success. It looked real successful on Twitter. I didn't know it was a thing. Me too, Scar. I saw some. They looked quite nice.
I see some cobble breaker boobs on my timeline. Oh, is that what Kendra had?
Yes, and she had that.
Oh, hold on, I gotta go find Kendra.
Yes,
I gotta go like Kendra's shit. Hold up.
Yo, it was nice. Like, she was working it. I was like,
hold up. Where's she at?
Hold on, let me do the same while we at this. Let me.
Where's Kendra's titties? We gotta go like Kendra's titties. That was the combo breaker titties. Oh, yes. I get it now. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, because she got 2 medals over her nips. Oh, her areolas.
She said, try touch. You can't. Hold on, let me find her. Let me hunt her down. Like, yo, I love her. Yo.
Dude, she should run an OnlyFans or Patreon. Does she not? She should.
I thought she was going to, but I thought maybe it was a joke. I thought she was like joking about it, but
man.
Bless. I put a big heart on that. Well, the deed is done. Well, no, you can't see them on the thing. You can't see them. I moved the screen from the you can't see the titties.
Main source of people having their asses and titties on my timeline is Alicia likes them. Most of my friends are cosplayers and OnlyFans owners. I can't help but support them. If I don't like they shit, then they don't blow up. That's how it works. I don't care if they have 5,000 to 10,000 likes on their shit already, okay? That's how you support your homies.
They working it.
They work it, okay?
Yes.
One of my friends, she posts a thigh jiggle every 2 to 3 days, and I have to like that shit every time. She just jiggles her thighs. That's all it is, okay? And listen, it's important. I'm gonna like that shit. Her DM about it. She's like, Alicia, check out what I just bought. And I'm like, girl, kill that shit. I believe in you. And then she goes and she does it. I don't sub to her OnlyFans or anything, but I support her by liking her content because I care about her. She cares about me. She likes my content. Okay, that's how we work.
It's still support, you know. I love that. I love that so much.
That's right. That's right. Listen, if you are out here supporting your friend, okay, listen. Okay, if you all, okay, let's take the straights for a sec. Let's take the straight males in chat. Okay, some of the straights. Okay, if y'all had a dude, right, one of your homies opened up an OnlyFans, opened up a Chatterbait or some shit, right? He's getting his business done.
What's
okay?
a Chatterbait? Sorry.
I will go into that in 1 second, sweetheart. let's talk about OnlyFans for a second, though. Right? He opens up an OnlyFans, right? He's posting some lewd content on his Twitter. Would you not like that shit? Would you not support your friend? Even if you don't sub to his OnlyFans, would you still not like his shit and support him?
Oh, Nazza said I would upload the shit out of that game. Yes!
I'm subbing to the homie's OnlyFans. There you go.
Yo!
I'm gonna like his shit. I'm trying to see my friend's ass out here on the timeline either. Wow, dude. So you're telling me, Rich, if Cole put his ass out on, if he put his whole ass out on the timeline, he wouldn't be liking Cole's OnlyFans. That's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit. You know you would smash like on that shit. Listen, he bought a mini skirt recently. That motherfucker's real close to getting that OnlyFans, and we know it. Okay? He's on that fine line.
Bam! Retweets do go a long way.
I'll expose motherfuckers real quick. Listen, show people. That's right. That's right. Listen. It's like when you smooch the homies. That shit ain't gay. Like, listen. If even if you're a hetero male and you smooch the homies, sometimes they just need one. Sometimes you gotta rock it out for a real one. Okay, it just happens.
I love you so much. You said rock it out for a real one.
That's
real
right.
one.
You just gotta be supportive sometimes. Okay, listen. You can still be a hetero male and do that shit. That's fine. Like, listen.
Hugs and kisses all day.
That's right. Like, smooch up on the homies. It's fine. Like, that's.
It's not available yet.
You're doing an OnlyFans?
No.
Oh, okay, shit. I was like,
No, got more excited.
Half a chat just went. She said what?
I don't know. I think it's a scar. It's like one of those things. Like I'm quite shy. About the certain parts to show. But I have thought about posting some nice pics. But the sunflower thing was out of my comfort zone, and doing my body. I don't know that my mother's on my Twitter. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get away with that. My mother's on my Twitter.
Yeah, I mean.
Combo Breaker? I mean, I do have 2 medals. Actually, from Combo Breaker, I have 2 medals. No!
You can totally pull
That's her thing. I'm letting her rock that one. I can't copy. That's not original.
You can be like in honor of Kendra. You literally add her in that shit. And be
In honor
like,
of Kendra. No, I can't do that.
Hano P facts though. Like, just saying. Listen, you don't feel pressure to, don't feel like you need to, but if you want to, know that the option is there, and know that this entire chat will like that shit. Isn't that right, chat? Isn't that right?
If I show
Richard, I will allow you to like that tweet. It'll be okay.
I got my 5 ready, sweet Jesus. Oh.
At least she got an OnlyFans. I used to actually have a lewd Patreon, but I closed it down when I opened up AXL because I didn't want to do both.
When homegirl told me that, I was like, baby! I was like, yes!
Yeah, I used to actually do lewd content, but
Did you,
and then
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, did you, so did you, like, pick different themes, and then you would go with those, like, themes for the, like, lewd content?
yeah, each month was a different theme.
I like that.
So
It's Halloween, like, pumpkins
you just
on
buy
these
props.
titties.
Like buying props is like one of those fun things ever too. Like it was really fun. It was really fun.
And then you became a team owner, you said,
I
time to
said,
close
"Ooh,
it!
we gotta class up this joint, bro. So
But girl, you still be working it. Sexy and everything, man. You still be working that.
that's facts.
Mwah.
Kendra, FGC girl, yeah. Kendra is like the vampire savior lord. That's what she is.
Mhm.
She's like the OG kind of FGC.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Veteran. I call them the veterans.
Veteran, yeah. She been here. Vampire savior. That's what she plays. She plays that old school shit. Mm-hmm.
She was telling me about, like, their scene and stuff. It was so informative because, you know, we're part of, like the really, like, mainstream stuff. So to learn about, like, how a game is still, like, alive after years and, you know, she talked about how she was competing in it, like, how she competed in it a lot, and, like, people who came from, like, I think, like, overseas and, like, played with them. Like, it was just really cool hearing her experience with it. Like, I really loved hearing about it because she was talking to me about it. I was like, yo, this is so cool. It gave me insight into, how people keep a game alive for years, even after its, like, release. Like, years and years. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. She's mad cool, man. Like, and she's super honest and she is vocal. That's, like, she's the kind of person who doesn't give a fuck about what people think. She's gonna speak up for what she believes in. And she defends people and she stands up for what's right. And I think she's awesome. So.
That's facts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she got titties on the TL, so y'all want to see titties on the TL. I guess that's hers. There you go.
Exactly. See her? Yo, homegirl had them. Oof. I saw nipple.
She has them presented, my dudes.
She said it's National Horny Day.
She's like, open that water bottle thing.
I was like, damn. Bless. She gives me energy.
Honestly, though, right? It's like she gives us like that's the thing, right? It's like even like hetero women, dude. Like everyone can acknowledge a great set of titties. Okay, it don't matter what.
Yes.
Like, listen, you could like it doesn't matter what sexuality you are. Everyone can acknowledge a great set of titties. Okay.
I completely agree with the statement. Yes. I was like, damn.
That was an unexpected question. Yep.
Nishi.
Stay free, bitch ass. I dropped your ass to loser. Shut the fuck up.
Oh man, my glass. I need to get some new glasses, baby. It's about that
You
time.
ended up winning, bitch. Yeah, you still ended up being a bitch.
Yo, FGC Woke just took so many different turns, and I'm not mad at any of them.
Man. Yeah, this is a wild ass cast today.
I love this podcast so much.
Try to recover from his career. Son. That's a fun ass tournament. Go try head rescue. Yeah. That's the thing, right? Is that I need to see her titty. She's an awesome person. I mean, that's the thing, though, right? It's like take her for what she is. She likes to show off her body because she got a body, and like support her no matter what she does. Listen, you don't have to look at the titties if you don't want to look at the titties, but like support her doing the shit that she wants to do. She owns her body. She likes to be what she is. That's what matters, right? So it's the same thing if any of us did anything, right? It's like respect the fact that they do their own thing and do their like have their own vibe, and at the same time, if you don't want to look at that stuff, don't look at that stuff. It's fine. Just don't like ever be like, I don't need you to do this to appreciate you. Just be like, cool, like live your best life. But I'm. You don't even have to vocalize that you're not gonna look at it. Just let them live their life and internalize that shit.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, God forbid you show some shoulders. Even shoulders gets you the boot.
listen, I appreciate your gameplay, but you know what? I think that you being lewd like this is also pretty nifty, but you know, it's just I just want to make sure I associate that your gameplay means the most to me. And bitch, shut your ass up, dude. I put up my cleavage like this because I want attention.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like, what the hell?
Sometimes I just want to feel hot. Okay, motherfucking compliment my titties. You fuck like.
Right, like you can feel good and own it and be playing the game and having fun. And, you know, being a G, I don't understand how the two can't go hand in hand. Literally, kiss my ass.
I remember, yeah. So this should happen. This should happen. This should happen to me before, man. Like, I was wearing like, I didn't normally wear like hoodies and stuff on stream. I usually wear stuff that covers up a lot.
Yeah.
One stream I just wasn't. I was wearing like this cute dress and it had like loads of cleavage, right? I had motherfuckers in my chat being like, well, you know, I really respect your gameplay and like blah blah blah, but just know that I'm not actually here for the titties. I'm here because I appreciate your amazing gameplay.
I think they felt mad awkward and they didn't want to seem like they were gawking also, by the way.
I'm like, man.
like but the thing is, it's like they don't understand, like you can own both, and like you are, it's self-expression, but it's not bad for you to show off your body. It's like they don't want to allow themselves to look at a woman's body.
You can acknowledge someone's body and not be a creep. Yeah, you know what? That's an iffy statement, you know, because like, you know, women can get away with it a lot more easily than men do. Sometimes men just can't. Sometimes if men like be like, "Yo, girl, you got a nice pair of titties," we'd be like, "Okay, dude, fuck off."
Like,
but if a chick said that same line, we'd be like, "Oh, thanks, baby." Like, that should hit different. Okay, that's.
Or if, you know, women said, "Nice cock." I mean, I can't really just go out there. That'd be kind of messed up for me to just look at your cock and say, "Nice cock." I can't.
Yeah, that's
say
kind of that actually, like, oh man.
People do that though. High key, low key, mid key, they do it.
It'd be like that bulge though, and it's like, damn, dude, like,
I'm not a piece of meat. I'm a whole person. You know.
That's right. Like,
but I mean,
that shit whack too.
Because like it's the same. It's the same thing to me.
It's like different when you're a female doing it to another female usually, because like you have titties, right? So it's like you being like, "Oh, it's a nice pair of tits." Like it's not really being like overly sexual or anything. It's just being like, "Yo, I got titties, but I appreciate your titties too. Nice." Like that's all it is. That's the reason why it's more chill. If a dude looks at another dude's bulge, like, "Hey, dude, nice fucking dick." I feel like people just laugh at it and be like, "What the fuck, bro? What's wrong with you?" But they wouldn't be like creeped out or offended. They'd just be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
Like,
you have a nice sack right there. Yeah. I'm loving it.
Nice testes, brother.
Woo! Was there a way?
Screaming, get me out.
Yo has an interesting question. So what is a non-creepy way for a guy to compliment your bodies? Looking beautiful today could really just suffice, but what do you think?
Like, honestly, just being like, holy, like, you're killing it. Wow. Like,
I love that. Yo.
Like, yeah, like, you're killing it. That's like one of the best statements you can say. Listen, that's implying that you hot. That's implying that you on fire today. Like, you looking sharp. You killing it.
This mug said,
like,
you have nice breasts. I'm dead. I know it's a joke, but
you have nice chesticles, madam.
Yo, them titties.
You got a fat ass. Shut your ass up, Landon.
Yo.
Like, just
looking good, yeah.
Instead of specifying a body part, just like give it the general compliment. Like, I mean, also don't be that like weird ass glorified shit where it's like, I praise your asshole like it's my son. You are my goddess. Like,
oh.
Don't do that shit either though. Just be like, you looking mad cute. That's a perfect one. That's one of my favorite ones to get. Oh, you looking mad cute. Oh, you looking hot. Girl, you looking right.
I like that.
That should be nice. That's a great way to compliment, okay? Going, your pussy lips are looking mad nice today in your camel toe.
Like, how you even see it from right here? Like, where you at then, actually? Like
my camera's not even down there, bro. Where's he looking? Is there like a reflection of some sort?
Yo, I'm like, yo, you in this? But like, what the fuck? Whoo, man.
Like, right? Like, don't specify a body part. Don't be that guy. Just give the generalized version. Listen, we know our titties are out. We know what you're implying. It's fine. Just tell us we look good. That's all.
Looking good. Like, boom. Thank you. Just
that's right.
Keep it simple. A, B, C. That's it.
Yeah, that's how you don't be creepy, right? That's facts. They got that 3D monitor. Stop. Need to be stopped.
So funny.
It's a weird ass conversation to get into. Any other questions, chat? Any other questions? If there's questions that we missed earlier on in chat, feel free to retype or copy and paste what you said earlier if we missed your question, by the way. She got a nice personality. She got 2 nice personalities. Like Alicia's makeup. Thank you, friend.
It's really nice. Yeah, that's how we do that.
I won't lie to you. I finger painted this shit. So I woke up late. I slept through. Like my alarm woke me up, and I went back to sleep after the alarm to get ready for this. And it was like approaching like a 6:35 mark, and I was like shit. And I finger painted, and I didn't put foundation on because I don't want to ruin my pores because it's nighttime. And I was like, pray to God no one notices. And I got compliments. She complimented me when I joined call, and I was like, fuck it, I'll take it. Like, yeah, I bet.
I really like it. Like, I'm all for that. Like, you know, experimenting with different like colors. You make it look so good, girl. Ain't no thing.
Nice. I wore this for you, Rel. I wore this for you. That's 100% facts, by the way. Rel recently, also still with AXL. Don't worry, is AXL and Vitrix now. So that's right. Ooh, yep.
Oh yes. Wait, the ambassador, right?
An ambassador, yeah, brand ambassador.
Congrats! I think I saw.
Making them move.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? In general, talk about stuff that we talked about earlier today. Maybe stuff that we went through like later on. It's all up to y'all. Still, by the way, to those of you who I know that I had 2 people from the German scene or something that wanted to hit me up about someone who's been aggressive, please do so. My Discord DMs and Twitter DMs are both open. Please reach out to me after the stream's over. I'm never leaving Hazel. God bless your soul. I love you.
Oh, if they still say you suck, then they're just salty and they're mad that they lost because you bodied them 3 times. How you suck, but then you bodied them. It's a win. It's a double win. It's a WW on your part, Jolter. Let them stay salty. Body them again.
Can you read the question out loud so I know what the hell's going on?
Just curious, if you lost to someone and they say you sucked, but you beat them like 3 times afterwards and they still say you sucked, would you consider it as a win on your part? Yeah, baby, because you bodied them 3+ times? Like, they just mad because they lost.
They ain't shit, they personality ain't shit, and they can't hold an L, so they shitty. That's all it is. That's a triple down on the loss, brother. That's all that is.
Like, stay fucking salty.
My favorite line, if someone says you suck and you just beat them, what the fuck does that make you? That's it, every time. What does that make you? You lost to me. If you call me shit, what does that make you? That's all it is.
Then they're the one who lost. Like
that's not even an insult. It's just saying, like, okay, if you lost to me and you're saying that I'm bad, then what does that make you? That's all it is. It's not even insulting them. It's
just the truth.
Letting them. That's just exactly what their statement means. That's all it is.
Like, you just looking free right now.
I'm trying to cook some shit up. Come on, man. That's all that is. Thank you, Alicia.
So funny.
I'm afraid to scapegoat them. I'll be harsh behind the scenes. I mean, if you guys find this person is an actual problem,
yes, we do upload. Yes.
Yeah, don't I know if y'all feel scared to talk about this stuff, and that's even more of a reason to actually talk about it if you're actually scared. I won't pressure you guys to come to me about your issues, but if you want someone to get kicked out of your scene because they're actually hitting people,
yeah,
I can probably get some shit done. Do y'all upload these? We do upload these. So we upload the highlights on the highlights of certain segments, 10-minute, 12-minute segments. Go on. Oh, it's Sharpie rating.
Sharpie, appreciate you, baby. Thank you.
So whatchamacallit? So yeah, it's 10-minute, 5-minute clips or whatever goes on my channel, and then the entire podcast itself goes on Cuddle's channel. So you get both sides. You get some segments you want to hit certain conversations, you go to mine, and if you want to hit the full podcast and rewatch certain segments, then you can go on hers too.
Yeah, the full the uncut, the raw and uncut. I'm gonna put raw and uncut in that shit. You raw and uncut. Yes, that's
yikes for me, dog. This is horny day. Don't be saying that kind of shit around here,
raw,
dog.
uncut. No, I'm kidding. Happy National Horny Day.
Happy National Horny Day. Yo, what up, Sharpie? Thanks so much
Sharpie.
for the raid. What's up, everybody from Sharpie's stream? What is going on? What's good? I hope y'all have Skullgirls installed. If you don't, then you probably shouldn't have been following Sharpie in the first place because you a bitch.
Damn.
All right.
Damn.
These are all facts. Welcome to FGC Woke. where basically it's a podcast that Cuddle and I hold once a month.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have bonus episodes that are for Patreon. We do one free episode per month, which is FGC Woke itself. And then we have a thing called Wokecast, where we do episodes that are exclusive to Patreon, where you pay 5 schmuckaroonies, or more if you choose to, but 5 schmuckaroonies, to be able to check those out and tune into other podcasts that we do about anything. We talk about literally anything. It's a great and wild, fun time. We also let you guys choose topics that we talk about, so you all can be like, hey, can you guys talk about this at some point today? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. We'll go dive into certain things and like research some current issues, like have a good time. So I want to check that out too. Check out our Patreon.
Put that ish in the chat.
Bam.
Girl.
Feel free to mash that $5 reduce, and it's appreciated.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Sibs had a question, my bad.
Also, the bonus videos are not streams. How it works for bonus videos is that they get put onto the AXL. Oh, fuck me, Jesus Christ! I am like so in work mode. They go into the FGC Woke YouTube that we made separately. It's not really like available to the public or anything. It's just like kind of what we have. And it gets put as unlisted, like a private video, and only the Patreon subs can actually have access to watching the videos, but they aren't live. Yeah, because the only issue with it being live is that people would no longer be able to sub and stuff. Yeah, the link will be on the Patreon site. Yep, so it's behind the paywall, so that means people have to pay the $5 to see the link for it. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions, y'all? Cool. So here we go. Got one question. Legit question. How do I deal with salty losses? Some losses make me super salty when I lose. Something I feel like I should be able to react to, but don't in real time. What's your opinion? We'll go with you first.
Okay, so because I've definitely been in this position too, you know, when you think like I've had those moments, so I definitely feel it already. Like I relived it. Oh, so salty losses and dealing with them. If you're not reacting to it, that means that maybe what's happening is if you're not reacting to it in real time, it might be something that you actually have to start practicing in the lab. So practicing your reaction times to it, because fighting games is all about reactions, right? So the whole thing is like you being able to recognize it and react to it, which means that if you're not seeing it, that means that there's like a delay, a weakness in that sense that you can easily tune if you practice that. If you see a flaw in your game and you lose, you know, it's okay to stay salty, but I always say turn that saltiness into a drive. And and then that just shows that that's something you can work on, because no player is perfect. No player whatsoever is perfect. So that just means it's something that you recognize that you need to work on. If you didn't, if you're able to react to it, but you did it in real time, that means that maybe you just need to become more prepared for said matchup, maybe the type of tournament it is, maybe how long the tournament is, whatever it is specifically, like, and you see that's what you lost to, training, breaking down how to, you know, adjust and be ready for the situation next time is really important. Like, you know, especially if it's in the practice mode, or maybe you didn't sleep enough, or like you didn't react to it for whatever reason. Like, yeah. But if it's in the case of like in the game, the lab really helps with that. The lab.
I mean, that's the thing too, right? For me, there's different times of when I feel salty when I don't, right? Is that if I'm just playing and I'm having a good time and it's not tournament prep, those are two phases, right? If I'm in tournament prep, I will only run sets with people who have one, good connections, and two, people who I choose to run sets with, right? Versus it being like just playing randoms online and having a good time, right? And the thing is that when playing randoms online and having a good time, is I try not to take it seriously. And that's the difference, right? It's like, it depends if you're in a competitor mentality or if you're in a chill yo mentality, because there is a difference between the two, right? Cuddle's a professional player, right? Cuddle's gonna, every time Cuddle gets on the game, she's trying her damn best and she's putting in that work, no matter what character she plays. Even if it's a character that she's not used to or new to, she's still putting in that work, right? Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the massive difference. You need to understand what kind of player you are and to understand if you should be frustrated or not, even in the first place, right? For me, I'm there to have a good time. I dance while backdashing.
I love that.
I'll
So much.
backdash to range 4 because I'm too busy dancing to Little John. Okay? I'm not here for the fucking W. I'll get the W anyways. But I'm not here for the W. I'm gonna. Oh, what? You blocked a slippery kick and I got launched for it. I'm not gonna get salty for it. I'm being a bitch, right? Like that's whatever. Like that's the thing, right? It's like I'm not here to get upset over it, but it's understanding what mentality are you going into this match with? Are you going into the match of I'm competing, I want to beat them, blah blah blah, and putting that pressure on yourself for an intent to get better? Then yeah, you might get salty more. But if you're in an intent of like I'm jumping on this game to blow off steam and have a good time, or I'm jumping on the game to blow off steam in general and like I want to just chill out. Don't take it so seriously. Turn the in-game music off. Put on some crazy ass tunes. Mash your brains out if you want to. Press when they plus. Who gives a fuck? Have a good time. Who cares if you take a loss? Like that's the thing, right? It's understanding what is the intent you're playing your match with, and knowing the difference between the two, right? Because unless you're a pro like her, sometimes you're just playing for fun.
True.
Yeah. I was just flexing me all the time. It's yeah. Sometimes I dance while cooking some people's asses. I just be like that, okay? Like
It's important to also, it is important to have fun though as well, pro or not.
Yeah.
You know, like it's really important to have fun, like so it doesn't become like you're always really hard on yourself. But remember, anytime you lose, it's a learning experience too. That's something I learned with anytime I lost to something, like I'm like, okay, maybe that's something I can work on then. And then I'll take it to the lab and I'll work on it and I'll study with my coach or whoever I trust to analyze my matches with, because that's a very sacred thing, having somebody watch your matches with you. That's an intimate thing to me. I'll get into that some other time. But yes, like, yeah.
Another thing that's really important too is like understanding how to blame yourself for something versus the game, right? That is one of the biggest things you can do for your own growth. Is sure there's jank in the game that happens, and sure there's stuff that needs to be patched or nerfed or changed, right? But whatever the game's current state is in is what you're doing, is what you're dealing with. That's the cards you're being dealt with. And at some point you need to hold yourself accountable for certain things happening, right? Listen, you're playing against a Kazuya player, you can no longer sidewalk his shit. That's terrible. Yeah, it's now putting you into a situation that's just not good. I could agree with that. But that's the situation you're in now, right? So instead of turning around and blaming the game for the issue, figure out what the fuck am I gonna do now? Okay, cool. He's trying to wave dash in my face to get the realign, and then no matter what, even if I try to sidestep, now it's gonna get caught no matter what. What do I do to beat this option, right? Okay, do I get a cleaner backdash? Do I work on what option can crush the low option? Well, I could get hit with the mid option. Now you need to understand what is the value of risk assessment, and also from playing them. What have you learned about their own habits during the set? During competitive play, it's a 1-2 scenario, way different. That shit to be salty over. That's messed up for the character. We're talking about if you're just running sets and having fun online. That's different, right? Understanding players, the habits, playing them in longer sets, things like that. That's where you can start to really actually gauge more of when you can actually block and deal with certain things and anticipate more, right? And do risk assessment. But in 1-2, yeah, it's something to be salty over. But it's understanding when can you shift stuff off of the game's issue and focus it on what can you do differently. That will really help you too. Yeah.
Very well said. I completely agree. And also in 1-2 is like knowing how to control what happens within that time as well. Because when you're offline, it's only you and that person. In a 1-2, so you have to, who gets there first, who outplays who first.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to, like you said, like picking up on what your opponent is doing is really important, and being able to be aware of all those things. And sometimes people fall short with that. By the time you download your opponent, they've already, sometimes they're a little too late. It happens. It happens. And there's tons of different reasons why, but like, yeah, I think Alicia stated it really very well, very, very well.
We had another question earlier up. Let me scroll back up. What's the best way to start a matchup lab session? Okay, cool. My biggest advice is look at what the best moves that character has, just the best ones. Like if you know like, oh shit, like this character's down forward is godlike, or this character's blah blah is godlike. Just learn those ones first and drill that into your brain. set up the training dummy to do that and interchange it with the other top moves that that character has and have it set to random. Let them go through it and learn to block and punish it properly over and over again. And just keep doing that. Have it set to random, go back and forth between all of them. And then that way you can do it visually and understanding how to punish and deal with an option, or knowing when to actually just hold that option if it's plus. Stuff like that. And understanding visually what's happening and confirming what you need to do after seeing the visual of what's happening. And that will help you a lot. It also helps build reaction time because it's not something that you're anticipating happening over and over again that you're punishing. It's happening interchangeably with other moves at the same time. That's the best way to start the lab session. From there, you can start labbing out their whole kit, where you start to learn to sidewalk certain moves. You start to learn other options about other moves in general. We're talking about the base, strongest moves in a character's kit is what you should be learning to deal with first, because those are big crutches that a lot of people rely on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was like, I'm a lab monkey because I live in Canada, so a lot of the time I don't get to play people because my connection's bad. So this is all I do. this is my home, labbing. So
No, it's useful. It's sometimes people don't effectively lab, so that's where they suffer. They just go in and play without really tackling like things that they struggled with during matches, whether it was online or offline. So they just continue to play and play and play, but they never really fully direct their attention to what they need to fix or adjust.
I need to learn to lab is informative. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? It's like, don't get overwhelmed is like the biggest thing. Learning how to navigate a game's lab menu is also really difficult. Okay, they're different in every game.
There's a lot.
There's sometimes where I still go over to Caliber's lab session, though I still try to lab that bitch, where that labbing mode, their lab menu is so easy to some people, but I still walk into there and have to pull up a YouTube video of how to navigate the shit every single time. Every single time. I've been labbing that game for like a year or two, and I'm still pulling up the goddamn video of how to freaking lab in that game, because I always forget the inputs of how to do shit in that game. I always forget, and it's so dumb. It's like, how often do I lab it? Pretty often enough to not forget how to lab in that game, but I always forget how to navigate through the menu. Okay, Tekken's menu is very simple to me. Tekken's menu is also very hard to other people to navigate when they come from different games. People who lab in Street Fighter, who come to play Tekken and lab in Tekken, always struggle. They're like, what the hell is this, right? But people who come from anime fighters that come into Soul Calibur have a lot easier time labbing because it's very similar. I don't play anime fighters. I get shit on in both. Okay, like when I go to those labs, understanding how to just navigate the menu and to use your resources is also important.
That's already a matchup in itself. Jesus,
that's a matchup, bro. Sometimes I get my shit knocked out. Okay,
I used to feel that way about the Tekken practice mode. The lab, yeah. And I was like, oh god. But I figured out what to record, what worked, but then you learned how to use the frame data. Man, it's useful. Man, after getting that frame data, everything is so much clearer. And it helps when other people help you. And they're like, Cuddle, turn this on, turn that on. Like, it helps when they're like, okay, we can help you with this. And then you learn that way too, which is, thank you for the chat. Based chat, thank you.
Yep, facts. It's mad nice. It's mad nice, like, having, like, when having like one, help from people, but two, I mean, that's the thing for me though, is a lot of the time I lab, I don't do it on stream, I do it off stream, because one, labbing is like my little happy place.
Right.
I know it's weird. It's like my like little happy comfort zone, and ikari annyeong. Okay, sorry. But like it's my happy place, right? So like the entire time I just like go into my little monkey mode of like and just then like, can I sidewalk this? What if I do up forward forward? Does up forward forward sidewalk that technically, because it also crushes lows and blah 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 blah. And my brain just like and it's like super excited for it all, right? And that's the thing, is that like if I do that on stream, I'm constantly splitting my attention, and I'm constantly like, and that's cool because I love hanging out with Twitch chat. I love hanging out with people, but it's just like, I'm in there because I want to be in my little snuggly hole labbing, and then when I play on stream, I'm there to dance and have a good time and start singing really loudly. So it's like two different vibes for it for me.
The lab. It's interesting that you mentioned like all the different options you try to defend and to respond to a move, because there's so many, especially for Tekken. There's multiple options, and I think that's so cool. I always think like when I lab, I'm like, okay, can I step this? That's always my first thing. Can I step this? My character has great movement. If I can use that as a strength, why wouldn't I step this? Can I step after if I get hit by this? On hit, can I still step with the follow up? That's so much shit you can learn from that. I learned stuff with the chat. Like literally, I learned about all of like fighting half of like at least 90% of Garamyu's options. If you sidestep right duck, you literally deal with all of it. Deal with all like his 2-1 and the stance stuff. Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like if you just on block, of course, but they'll try it on block. They'll try it 2-1 into his different options from the sumo stance thing. You literally like 95% of it is sidestep right duck. Because I asked my coach, I'm like, why is it when, it's all kind of, it's a cycle. And I'm like, coach, why is that when you sidestep right duck, it changes things? He's like, because it's like it shrinks the body. It like shrinks the hitbox or something. I said, oh my goodness, that's why when you sidestep right, everything works. Like AOP. That's why AOP is so deceitful, because sidestep right AOP. She has no hitbox after that.
It's gone. It vanishes into the dirt.
That's what happens. I'm so serious. Like, I'm so serious. Like, that, and I could go on. But anyway, it's really cool. Labbing is awesome. And doing it with people can be fun, too. Or doing it by yourself. You learn a lot. Either way. Have that lab time, because it will help you grow so much. You can't just play to play. If you're trying to get better, you gotta lab the stuff that you lost to.
Yep. And sometimes having a training partner is cool and all, but try to find one training partner you have that plays the same character as you. Like that's one of the things that can help. Or one training partner who beats your character's ass like no tomorrow. Or he's like, that's my best matchup. Find that motherfucker. Hunt him down. Be like, listen, bitch. Teach me what you do to beat my character and to beat everyone in this goddamn community, because I need to learn what the heck is going on. A lot of the time, without having to ask other people, you will experience it on your own, okay? You'll experience that shit on your own. You don't need to ask every question to every pro every time, right? You don't need to come to Cuddle and be like, hey, Cuddle, how do I beat this character? No, you don't need to do that. You can play the game yourself. You can learn.
Still ask me, though. But...
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because Cuddle's receptive, right? Cuddle's receptive. So Cuddle will tell you, right? At the same time, though, it's like a lot of it is about learning on your own, too, right? Because someone can tell you so much, but until you start implementing it yourself, it's not going to be the same.
Very good point. Very good point. Because that's exactly what it is. Like, you can ask all day, but if you ain't labbing, baby, you're not applying the knowledge. I could tell you all day, going into Jack, you sidestep left, back dash once, but like, if you're not actually applying this stuff and playing against a Jack player who's beating your ass, or you're not, getting that ass beat will really teach you a lot about what you need to work on. But you have to have the muscle memory against that matchup yourself too. I can tell you everything, but you really gotta.
I just want to take a moment to just say thank you to people subbing to the Patreon during this stream. We have a total of 6 Patreon subscribers now. We're almost at 10.
Oh!
If you guys want to drop $5 or more, up to you. If you want to drop $5, even unlock bonus episodes that are exclusive, not on YouTube, not on Twitch. They are nowhere except for the Patreon. You want to see more of us spitting that bullshit? You want more Cuddle and Alicia time? Not just once a month, but an extra time per month, where we go off about anything. We talk about topics that you guys want to talk about too. Drop $5 towards the Patreon. We really, really appreciate it. Be a part of the community. Yeah, that'd be really, really sweet of you guys. We already, having sex is so incredible. We just started it out, and it's really amazing. We really, really appreciate it. We almost hit 400 likes on Facebook already.
So quick. I guess we both kind of just, I just hit the invite button for however many people they could. But there was the fact that I'm pretty sure all those people know what FGC Woke is. And to get that kind of support is freaking huge. So thank you everywhere, guys. Thank you for, the support, and thank you for supporting the Patreon as well, along with coming to our podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So thank you. How do you stop choking in fighting games? Biggest thing is don't get flustered. That's that. Learning how to breathe and be patient is one of the biggest things you can do. The thing about most people is when they come close to winning, they'll either go super aggressive or go super defensive. Play the style in which you kept the tempo originally, because the fact that you have advantage and you are now proceeding to choke is because you changed something in your style, or they adapted to you and you need to readapt back. There's so many variables, but at the end of the day, the biggest issue is your nerves. Your nerves will definitely get in the way. So just dealing with that first is the big step.
I have nothing else to say. I completely agree, because that's huge. That's so huge. Keeping tempo, and then when you don't keep tempo and nerves hit, when your tempo changes because something didn't go the way you wanted, because you couldn't clutch out the last round that you were gonna get to take the whole game, then you like on tilt, and now how do you bring it back? And that's a mental thing. Like that's a whole other, but the way Alicia explained it, 10 out of 10, because that's definitely something I've experienced as a player too. I feel it. Yeah. I feel it.
Who's the worst matchup against my Gigas? Against your Gigas? Who the fuck are you?
Specifically your Gigas? Because I was gonna say Gigas in general, he just suffers overall against everybody, but he can still fight.
I was against yours. I don't know yours. I need to see yours to know what you gonna struggle against.
Like, you mean just Gigas? Because I don't know how you play. But I will say this about Gigas. I think Gigas does really well against characters who have a hard time getting in. So Ling suffers against Gigas because she has to his down part 1 hits AOP. That's huge. His down 2 deals with AOP really well. He can play that keep out game on her. That's huge. He's like Jack in that sense, but he's definitely a nerfed version of Jack. Like I said, any character that has to come in on you. Yeah, I think Eliza suffers as well. Zafina. But he can play that keep out game against her. I'm pretty sure his down part 1 keeps her out of stance. So just kind of throwing that out there.
Oh, Jolter, I'm glad you're improving, dude. That's awesome. He's just talking about how he's playing with his mentor and he's doing better and he's improving his Oscar gameplay. It's awesome, dude. Great to hear.
Good shit. Yeah. Improvement it just happens in every way. So it's great that you're, staying on it, having fun while doing it. Because I asked Jolter last time, like, you having fun? Like, you having fun with, playing and improving? And he's like, yeah, like, and then that was like the biggest thing, like, as long as you're having fun, like, and you're experiencing the improvements without feeling like overly stressed. And I was like, good shit. Because I think he said he like took a break for a little bit and came back, felt refreshed, and was ready to like come back in, ready to like really break down like the things he wanted to improve on. So I thought that was really cool.
That's solid. That's solid. And the thing is too, right? It's like when approaching anything, is like don't get burnt out. That's one of the hardest, like that's one of the scariest things to ever do in a game is to get burnt out. And I've been burnt the hell out before.
It's hard, isn't it?
And like you want to keep training and you want to keep improving and you feel like you plateaued because you're just so angry because you feel burnt out and so you're frustrated and it's a lot. Like understand, have side games, man. Like have side non-FGC games even. Just have side stuff that's just completely unrelated and just breathe.
You can separate yourself, because at the end of the day, you are not just an FGC like person. You're also like a human being who has a who needs to have breaks. Your energy. If you're giving your energy to that, like you're giving your 110% energy to like that said thing, the whole like for a long time, you can easily get burnt out. And so it is important, like Alicia said, to have those side things. It's like huge. Like playing those other games or having other things that you do. Like I think even with this quarantine and like the lockdown and everything, like it's really nice that I think for those who were getting burnt out, now you can really take a step back, tackle those things that you want to get better at, where you didn't have the time, or maybe you want to focus on some things, like take advantage of this time, because once everything's back up and running, y'all know y'all ass is gonna be at those tournaments 24/7, and I'm not gonna see none of y'all for a long time. You're gonna be at tournaments. Off in the 24-hour rooms playing. I'm not gonna see nobody. Everybody's gonna be pressing buttons. But enjoy this time. Learn stuff about yourself. Like you're not just one-dimensional. I don't think anybody is. You can tap into different parts of yourself. Remember, parts of yourself. Remember that.
That's important.
You okay, baby?
I'm gonna sneeze. That's all it is.
Oh. Bless you, baby.
Thank you.
Bless you, baby. But yeah. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much.
That's a crazy time. We went through a roller coaster of emotions, man. I went hard at the start of the stream. I went savage this entire time.
You did. You really did. But necessary.
I don't know. FGC Woke, man. Gotta stay woke. Can't be sleeping out here, so.
Thank you for the new Patreons, too.
Yeah, like, this is... Y'all want that raw craziness that we just dished out? Man, check out the Patreon. Support it. Like, we're chilling it pretty hard, but the reason why is because, Cuddle and I, we love doing this for you guys, and we want to take it more seriously, and we appreciate your support, and, $5 instead of buying that Happy Meal. Come support your girls. Make us happy. We a snack. So same shit. Like either way, you getting that. We got nuggies, baby. Like let's go.
Now I feel like we should partner with Grubhub and do something where we can like get Happy Meals for like people. Or meals, regular meal, or something like Grubhub code. I think that'd just be really cool because
we gonna talk to them. We gotta get hooked up.
Grubhub's life. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Like this was really awesome. This is really good. I always love talking to you, Alicia. I always love talking to the chat. Informative, very very informative. Stay woke, don't sleep.
Stay woke. Stay woke, don't sleep. That's right.
No, don't sleep.
Check out the Patreon. Also check out FGC Woke on all social medias. We got an Instagram, we got a Twitter, we got a Facebook, we got it all, baby.
And a TikTok.
And we got a TikTok, which Cuddle's been killing recently. So check out us on all social media. Okay, check out our Patreon. The episodes will go live on Spotify and Apple Music and Google Play. So make sure to check it out on all those. Remember, guys, the slogan of the day today is all cord, no cuddle. Okay, that's how you stay woke. That's how you stay woke. Okay.
Thanks.
I'm gonna tweet that later. I'm gonna mash that like and retweet button and be like, all cord, no cuddle. That's it. No cap. That's it. That's the tweet.
My God.
Hold on. Let me just do it.
My God. See you next time. Bye. Chloe, I almost forgot.
I'm doing this on our FGC Woke account.
Oh, bless. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Oh, man, that was fun.
That was super fun.
Are we signing off?
Yeah, we are. Hold on. There we go. Bam.
Done. Oh, let me see. All cord, no cuddle. Love it. Follow me.
That's why. Yeah, we love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Remember to love yourself, love the people around you. Always drink water. Stay woke. Don't sleep. And we'll catch you guys on the next podcast. Remember that we do FGC Woke once a month for free for everybody. But then if you want the bonus episodes, make sure to tune in on our Patreon. Drop that 5 schmuckaroonies. Or more if you want to donate more. We always appreciate that too. You can have your name up on the screen over here, the next podcast as well. For those of you guys who decide to donate more than $5. We appreciate you guys. You guys become a part of our exclusive FGC Woke Discord, where we talk about what we're going to talk about as next topics. We give you guys sneak previews of content we're working on. You guys get the behind the scenes sort of stuff and join a part of that community. So I'll catch you guys later.
Bye, guys. Oh, wait, do we want to host?
Well, who'll be hosting?
No, I don't remember how to host. Tell me who you want to, and I'll just do /host, whatever the hell I'm supposed to do.
Because do MYK.
MYK. So do I do /host?
/host and then his name. Hold up, I got you. I'm gonna just copy paste his name into our chat.
Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, thanks. Ban yourself. Thank you. That should do it. I did it, right?
You did it.
Okay, stop streaming then.